is the value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back once again on the Value Wrestling YouTube page, live with another weekly roundup. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Let me introduce myself. The one, the Big Tyme. Oh yeah, we're ready for the night. And of course, my first partner on the board,
Paulus Clarke.
Oh, no. And of course, our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the one, the only.
Miguel Z.
All right, gentlemen, welcome to the party. We are here. Another week of professional wrestling's down. Lots of stuff has happened. And it's been an interesting week of highs, lows, and everything in between. So, gentlemen, I only have one question for you. And that question is... You know I had to. Anyways, we're here to have fun. We're here to enjoy our time and do what we do. And, we are out here, well, at least two of us. One of us in spirit is out here on the West Coast doing our thing, Anyways, it's time to get the show rolling. We are here for another weekly roundup. We are glad you joined us. Go ahead and join us in the chat if you haven't already. I don't know why this hasn't taken off yet. Let's see. Ooh-wee. So many things running. Let me test that the chat's working. And we are working. All right. We are here and we are good. So let's get into... Ready. Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, Monday Night Raw. How much longer will it be Monday Night Raw? It has been Monday Night Raw since, what, 94, 90, 90, I mean, it's been Monday Night Raw for a long, long time. A very long time. And that is crazy that there is
I want to say 94, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it is interesting that there's talks that Monday or Raw may not be on Monday nights anymore. That's just, wow. Talks are interesting. But let's get into Monday Night Raw. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Why does that look like doo-doo? Let's move around here for a brief second. I see why it looks like doo-doo.
Just to let you know real quick, Monday Night Raw started January 11th, 1993.
There we go.
Ooh-wee. Our age is showing, fellas.
Well, we've been there since day one, so now we're all back to normal. Okay, I opened wrong screens. But anywho.
Asking to stay up just a little bit later as a kid. You know how it goes.
No, shoot. Yep, there goes everything wrong because I started clicking screens by accident. All right, we're all back. Good. All right, Monday Night Raw. Live from the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Somebody is just up the road from there. But anyways, on the commentating, we had Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. And we are, of course, 3 weeks away from Fastlane. And I don't even know if we have any matches officially announced. No, there is no matches announced. So we will have to see what goes. And what do we hear to start the show? Well, there's more than one royal family in professional wrestling. And so we get Cody. Cody's here to get things started, but before he can get too far, good old Dominic Mysterio shows up, and thank God it's no longer, they've seemed to step away from that dirty Dom a lot, so we got back to just normal Dom. Interrupts. Dominic talks about how Jey Uso is going to join the Judgment Day and mentions that Rhea Ripley is out tonight after the attack at the hands of Nia Jax. Anyways, Cody asks if the fans heard that and thinks that Dominic and Rhea have a relationship somewhat like Steve Urkel and Laura Linzo. A great Family Matters throwback here. So that was a great moment, pointing out that Dom probably has more feelings for Rhea than Rhea has for him. Besides, if you watched last week's show, it seems that Rhea has eyes for Jey Uso. My only question is, how does a certain Matthews in a different world feel about all that? Of course, this cues in Finn Balor and Damian Priest to join Dominic before the match, and we get our first match of the night. Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio. This is a non-title match. Cody starts fast, suplexes Don, grabs a quickly broken figure four. Dominic gets into a few shots of his own, but walks into a Cody cutter, crossroads, and the match finishes at 2:10. That is a fast loss for Dominic, even against Cody. So post-match, Judgment Day stares down Cody. And there are Cody's in the ring, Judgment Day standing on the apron on the outside. We hear Kevin Owens music hits, and we get we get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn running down the ringside to help back up Cody. The Judgment Day back off and leave, and so we don't get anything there. Cody goes to leave the arena, but then Owens cuts him off, going, "I need to ask you something." So Cody gets back in the ring. So Owens says, or asks Cody, "Why'd you bring back Jey Uso?" Or he says, "You brought back Jey Uso to Raw." Cody says that's correct. Owen talks about everything Jey did to a lot of people, so why is Cody willing to bring him back? Cody says there are people in the back who need to hear this, but there are people here who probably already know this. His job is to make these people happy, and Jey deserves a second chance. And besides, now the bloodline is down a member. Sami, as he always has, usually has tried to play peacekeeper and ask Owens to give Cody and Jey a chance. Owens says he sees where this is going and says, sure, he'll preach in Jey didn't cost them all the Universal title. It's just one shade of eyeliner away from joining, that Jey's one shade of eyeliner away from joining Judgment Day, and he won't trust Jey, but he'll trust them, and they better be right. This is getting interesting. So we get Cody beating Dominic. We get more of the storyline with Jey Uso. Where is he going to stand? How is it going to play out? Kevin Owens doesn't trust him, like we should understand. And we move forward. We look at Rhea Ripley retaining the women's title. We look at Rhea Ripley retaining the women's title over Raquel Rodriguez, but getting crushed by Nia Jax after the match was over because they seem to want to drive this in the ground. They put it up everywhere. Like, oh. And, of course, you got people out there, like I say, you can love professional wrestling. You can be totally invested in professional wrestling. And in here, we're all inclusive. You can love who you love. You can hate who you hate. You can cheer for who you want, and you can boo for who you want. And we have nothing against that. The only thing I'll tell you is you can be a mark. It's okay. Just never go 100% mark. And if you're 100% mark for Nia Jax, well, I don't know what to tell you. But you know what? Maybe the drugs you're taking, you might want to share. No? Yes? No? No. We don't want to know. Anyways, so we get a preview of that. WWE's played that everywhere. It's overplayed. Nia Jax just, I won't get into it. So anyways, Rhea has this says bruised ribs. I thought it was a bruised chest from all that. And Raquel Rodriguez has whiplash. So that's what we have as an update after the debacle of the return of Nia. Excuse me, sorry. I think I vomited in my mouth a little bit. We'll move on. We get, oh, God, this match was, anyway, sorry. We get Kofi Kingston versus Ivar.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
This is going to be a tag match, but Eric is out, so we'll do it solo. Kofi gets a headlock on Ivar down to start, so Ivar runs him over with a clothesline back up, and Kofi hits a jumping elbow, only to get crushed with a seated senton out of the corner. Elbows, right hands, get Kofi out of the corner, and a top rope shot to the head, staggers Ivar. There's a running clothesline, but it's too early for the boom drop. Instead, Kofi kicks him in the head for 2, but Ivar hits a backdrop to the floor. The big splash off the apron crushes Kofi again, and we, okay, so then we go. Ivar hitting a power slam and a crossbody drops Kofi for the third time. The top rope splash misses, though Kofi runs the corner for a spinning high crossbody. The SOS gets 2, but Ivar Tiger bombs him down for the same. Ivar nails the spinning wheel kick and hits a Bronco Buster. So he goes up top. The top rope splash is loaded up by Valhalla, telling him to go bigger, meaning it's a moonsault for 2. Ivar hits a beautiful moonsault on Kofi and only gets a 2 count. Kofi fights up, hits a sunset bomb out of the corner, setting up for trouble in paradise, and gets the win at 13 minutes, 4 seconds. Kofi Kingston beats Ivar after taking a moonsault splash bomb Ivar on the top rope, which is a total joke. I mean, you totally just made, what's the point in Ivar? Ivar made, give the Viking Raiders, the War Raiders, whatever you want to call them, give them the release. Let them go somewhere like AEW where they can actually be used. Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, anywhere. I mean, how the heck do you let this big man fly off the top rope in a beautiful moonsault, land it, and tell me that Kofi Kingston can kick out of it? Is Kofi Kingston a longtime veteran? Is Kofi Kingston great? Yes. It's nothing against Kofi, but I mean, you totally just. How am I supposed to take Ivar serious when Kofi Kingston kicks out of a beautiful moonsault from a man that size? It doesn't make sense. And for him to pop right back up like it was nothing. Sorry, it was bad.
I don't disagree.
Sorry, I have to go on a rant sometime. Go ahead.
What it defeats the big man, little man purpose. You do something like that, and then
it murdered the match for me because I'm like, when Ivar hit it and it was a beautiful moonsault. I mean, it was a beautiful for a big man. That was a beautiful moonsault. It was clean. There should have been no way. I don't care who. I mean, I get it's Kofi, but I mean, even Kofi's not built up to be that type of like kicking out of something that impressive. And I mean, it was a beautiful moonsault, and I think it killed anything with the Viking Raiders. And I don't know why. I don't know what they're doing with the Viking Raiders. It seems like they start building the Viking Raiders and they flush it down the toilet and restart, and then they start and then they stop and they start and they stop. I don't know. Maybe Tony Khan's booking the Viking Raiders for WWE right now. I don't know. Well, Tony Khan has a history of starting people with their booking and then stopping their booking too. I mean, Vince has got it too. We know it happens everywhere, but yeah, this one's just deplorable.
Not as bad as Vince.
No. Anyways, we get a look at Shinsuke Nakamura attacking Ricochet. Ricochet says he's the cheat code for Nakamura tonight. The game is over, and we get Nakamura versus Ricochet. Hold on, though. Here's Seth freaking Rollins to charge at Nakamura, and the chase is on with agents and security to break it up. Back with the bell ringing, and Ricochet's backing him into the corner. Nakamura gets a cheap shot to take over, but the kick to the chest is blocked. Instead, Nakamura hits a running knee for 2. We hit the seated abdominal stretch. Ricochet fights up, but gets kicked back into the corner for a choke. The sliding German suplex is blocked through, and Ricochet hits the middle rope moonsault to the floor as we take a break. Back with Ricochet kicking charging Nakamura down, and the handspring elbow does it again. The running shooting star press gets 2 on Nakamura, and the springboard high crossbody does it in a second time. Nakamura knocks him outside, and Ricochet hits an enziguri before chairing Nakamura down for the DQ at 12:58. Well, we look at it. We know Ricochet didn't get a pin. It was an interesting match. And again, this looks like the feud will continue. I don't know what they're building to. I'm assuming something at Fastlane, but they still haven't really given us anything into Fastlane. Of course, post-match, Ricochet yells at the ref, but Nakamura takes his knees out. Ricochet's knee is destroyed with the chair and the post until Rollins runs in for the save. Nakamura backdrops his way out of a pedigree attempt through the table. Didn't they drop on the table? And security breaks it up. Well, they do for a bit at least, as Nakamura gets another cheap shot to the bad back, leaving Rollins laying. Rollins and his back. They're definitely showing a great storyline there. They're making Nakamura look strong for the first time since he's came out of NXT. They're actually booking Nakamura as a serious threat, and makes you almost want to be like, put the title on him. So they're doing great things there. Where they're going to take it, I don't know.
Here's my question.
Go ahead.
By having Ricochet kind of interlaced into this Nakamura Seth Rollins storyline. Does this help him at all?
I guess it's all
even
depends
though
on
the
what
main story, even though the main story right now is Shinsuke and Rollins, by having him kind of in there, does this help him at all?
I think it depends on what the payout is in the end.
That's where I'm at. I'm kind of figuring maybe it might do something for him. It might put him next in line when this is done. I mean, one can hope that it does something for him.
Unless they turn Ricochet heel and give us a whole different character in all this. Unless they're building the story that Nakamura is going to keep attacking Ricochet at the expense of Rollins, and Ricochet's just going to snap and be like, "Well, being your friends cost me all this crap, so f you and f that." So I think it could help. It just depends on the payout. Right now, it's putting him in a main event light because it's putting him in with main event guys. I mean, they took Nakamura from being a mid-carder the main event overnight. So I mean, reaching down and pulling Ricochet up into that, he's definitely in that spotlight. A lot of it, though, I think everybody these days is always, what is the payoff? I think between WWE and AEW, we get excited for guys, but then something happens and we're like, okay, so I think a lot of us now pump the brakes and go, okay, this looks good, but we're going to wait and see what the payoff is because we don't want to be disappointed or,
Absolutely.
We don't want to get our hopes up to be like, oh, well, that's how it's gonna go, is it? That's what we get,
Like 90% of what's on TV today, anyways.
But yeah. So after that, we get Piper Niven and Chelsea Green are ready for Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks because they're friends. Niven doesn't buy that, and Green doesn't even know where she's from. Yes. She says she's from Florida. Florida, yes. And the girl that is dressed in the colors of her home country is from Florida. Yes, good job there, Chelsea. I think you needed to make a, phone a friend. Maybe you needed to call him Cardona and go, hey, do you know anything?
No, he's calling her, asking if he could borrow her belt.
Right.
He wants to be Matt Cardona 2 belt somewhere, right? No, anyways. But I know where you instantly went. That boy went instantly back to Hey, Miguel, how would you feel if we got some title belts and got Jane AI bought 2 belts and we can call her Jane 2 belts?
Oh, come on now.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, we got a non-title match between Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, and Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Stark and Green start things off with Stark slugging away and hitting a basement clothesline, a slingshot. Hilo connects, and it's Baszler coming in for a reverse DDT backbreaker. Stark comes back in. Though things seem a bit testy between her and Baszler, a missed charge in the corner staggers Starks, though Niven comes in to plant her for a 2. Starks gets up and hands it back to Baszler, who takes Niven outside. Cue Nia Jax. Why? Because why not? Why not have Nia Jax come and shove Piper Niven into the corner? And now Piper Niven's supposedly hurt. Came in and headbutt Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is now apparently hurt. And then let's see. This was short, but the match. Yeah, Jax wrecks everybody, and then she hits the stupid bonsai onto Shayna Baszler. At least this time she held on the ropes. It's a little bit better of a bonsai drop that she hit. Still looked terrible. Just doesn't look impressive. And then she slaps her. At least it's not the full, like, smack, but just smacks her. Just, why? If the move of the bonsai is not impressive.
I'll sign it.
I don't have a button for that one. Here's your sign, or I saw the sign. No.
That's right.
Okay, we're good. Dogs are barking. Sorry. Nope, they're still barking.
That's fine. Remember, I got noise canceling software, so it's all good. We are good. I don't hear it. It's not coming through. Anyways, Nia Jax hits Baszler, then slaps her, makes her look terrible. I don't get why you need to slap anybody. You hit the bonsai. The bonsai should be the impressive move, not I don't know. Anyways, that again, I guess some people like the slap, and we won't get into that. I don't want to upset Miguel, Anywho, Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to have fun. We love what we do, and we are happy that you are here. We welcome you here if you are here. So,
if you're watching later.
Yes, even if you're watching later. We're just here to have fun, enjoy the time we're having, and
this is all I want to know when it comes to her. That's it. That's it. This is it right here.
What?
Who booked this?
What? Can't read it. It's all a big blur. Now he threw it away.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Miguel's going to become our Sammy Guevara with the.
All right, let's move on. I want to hear nothing more about this one.
Anyways, don't want to hear anything about who? Nia Jax or Jane?
Yeah, stop talking about Nia Jax. That woman needs to get off my TV. Go away. Just why? Why? That's all I want to know is why. He doesn't need to come back.
Nia Jax is just coming back doing this. Anyways, we move along. Chad Gable comes up to Adam Pearce and asks for one more shot at Gunther, but Pearce says he has to earn it. Bronson Reed comes in and says he'll be glad to help. The match is on. They have a back and forth there about, you got to get back to the back of the line. So we get a match between Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. We look back at The Rock and Pat McAfee from SmackDown. Then we get Damian Priest tries to talk to Jey Uso into joining the Judgment Day, which is family instead of relatives. Priest wants an answer tonight before we get the match. Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed, Otis and Maxine Dupree. Or I guess it should be Maxine Dupree. Anyways, are here with Gable. Some forearm stagger Reed to start, and a missile dropkick does it again. It's too early for the German suplex, so Reed is right back with a power slam. Reed catches him on top for a gorilla press toss onto the turnbuckle. We take a break, and we come back with Gable going after the knee. Reed blasts him with a clothesline, but Gable grabs the cross arm breaker over the top. Reed's backsplash only hits knees, and Gable can't follow up. Gable grabs a sleeper, so Reed drops backwards onto him, setting him up for a tsunami for the pin. 9 minutes, 35 seconds, and this was like, I can't even explain this one because it makes no sense at this point. You built Chad Gable to look strong. You make Chad Gable look like he's the next contender, and then you have him lose to Bronson Reed kind of for no reason. So, I mean, I don't know where this is going. If they're taking Chad Gable completely out of the Intercontinental picture run or the Gunther or trying to go after Gunther. I thought they had a beautiful storyline, but now he's lost to Bronson Reed. So, I mean, how can he be pitched as a number one contender? And I don't know. It feels like it kind of slows his momentum from where we thought he may have been going. I don't know. So, Bronson Reed over Chad Gable. Tommaso Ciampa is done with the waiting and is ready to take out Imperium to get what he wants. Sammy and Kevin still don't see eye to eye about Jey Uso. Cue Jey Uso, which has Owens walking off, but Sammy knows he has a big decision to make about the Judgment Day. We have a great conversation there about what is Jey going to do. And now we finally get to the highlight of the night. The NXT Women's Champion, the man, Becky Lynch, is here to brag about her championship. She wants to be champion that matters, though, and that it means it's time to test yourself tonight. Therefore, the open challenge is on, and here, for whatever reason, because they needed a warm body, is Natalya. Now, I know some people love Natalya, and there's nothing wrong with Natalya. She's just misused, and she just kind of, when they need Natalya, she's there, and she does a great job. But I think there could be a lot more. We get we get a decent promo of why Natalya's there, why she wants to challenge Becky. We get it, but it's just, I don't know. With Natalya, it seems to rinse and repeat. Okay, Natalya, it's an open challenge. We need you to go out there and do your thing. So I wish they would do a little more with Natalya in storyline instead of just having her show up to take an L. Anyways, Lynch is defending and gets sent outside hard to start as we take a, okay. And then we got a break back from break. Becky hitting a running forearm into a Bexploder for 2. Natalya snaps off a release German suplex, but the sharpshooter is countered into a small package. A suplex gives Natalya 2 more, but another sharpshooter attempt is broken up. Becky hits the missile dropkick, only to have Natalya come back with a discus lariat. The disarmor is countered into a roll-up for 2, but Lynch reverses it into a roll-up of her own for a pin at 6 minutes, 14 seconds. And that's about as a Natalya of a match as you're going to get, which is true. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, the Dragon was coming to Raw. The Dragon. There are so many dragons in professional wrestling right now. Who would ever know? But the Dragon was at Raw. Which dragon, you may ask? Was it an American dragon? Was it the dragon? Was it a Komodo dragon? Was it a dragon from, I don't know, was it Peach Dragon? No. It was Dragon Lee. And he was in Adam Pearce's office when Dominic Mysterio comes in to yell at both of them. Lee promises to win the North American title next week. So, Dragon Lee stepping up in the place of maybe where a Mustafa Ali was going to have that title match at NXT's No Mercy, but now Mustafa Ali is no longer with the company. Lots of stories about that, but we can talk about that after the rundown. So we get Giovanni Vinci versus Tommaso Ciampa, and somebody called him Giovanni No Knees, but I don't know why. It didn't really make sense, but hey. Ludwig Kaiser's here, too, as Vinci uppercuts Ciampa into the corner. A clothesline puts Ciampa down again as we see Gunther watching in the back. Vinci gets 2 off a belly-to-back suplex, but Ciampa strikes away. Ciampa comes back with a Thez press and a reverse GTT, but Kaiser offers a distraction that doesn't work for Vinci as Ciampa pulls him into the Sicilian stretch for a tap at 3 minutes, 28 seconds. And so we get Ciampa with a good win here. Ciampa getting into the mix here. Maybe we're going to move up Ciampa. I don't know where they were going with the original Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling story. Maybe Johnny's not ready to come back yet. Hopefully they get back around to that. We will have to wait and see. Seth Rollins says he's tired and in a lot of pain, but he's trying to keep it together. He's tired of these games, though, and he's willing to do anything to get Nakamura in the ring. Nakamura can name the time, the place, and even the stipulation if he wants. Now Nakamura needs to decide who defines his legacy. We get a video package of Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso as a cat jumps in my lap, in case you don't know. Jey Uso and Drew McIntyre, they trash talk each other to start until McIntyre shoves him into the corner and asks if this is all he has. Jey ducks a shot in the corner and strikes away, but McIntyre is right back with the chops. A snap suplex gives McIntyre 2, but Jey sends him outside, setting up the dive. Another dive hits McIntyre, and here is Judgment Day as we take a break. Back with McIntyre hitting the top rope suplex, followed by the Glasgow Kiss. Jey manages a quick Samoan drop for 2, but the suicide dive is cut off. Back in, and McIntyre's spinebuster gets 2, only to have Damian Priest offer a distraction on the floor. Jey gets in a hard shot of his own for 2, but kicks all of Judgment Day down. The distraction lets McIntyre hit the Claymore for the pin at 14 minutes, 12 seconds. So Judgment Day tries to come down and help Jey win, but Jey finally gives us an answer by hitting each member with a super kick off the apron. And this is all about the angle rather than the match. McIntyre, yes, he gets a nice rub. Post-match, McIntyre goes to leave, and Uso is getting beaten down by Judgment Day. McIntyre keeps kind of looking like he's going to run in and make the save. Then he decides not to. Then he looks like he's going to go in and make the save. Then he doesn't. And then finally, the music hits. We see Cody Rhodes charging down to the ring, and Cody is here to make the save. And gentlemen, this has been a Monday Night Raw episode. And so, yeah, it's another episode. So, segueing, your thoughts, gentlemen, on Monday Night Raw overall?
I got nothing. I really don't. I don't know where they're going. I don't know which direction they're going. I don't know what they're heading in.
You don't know where they're going with.
I don't know anymore
per se.
Anything anymore. Not since what they're doing. Not since this whole merger. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's kind of it's like someone threw names in the hat and said, okay, you, this is what you do. And they left it at that. The only thing they're concerned about is showcasing your favorite Nia Jax.
Okay. I don't know. I think people are too worried about this merger. I don't think this merger has really mounted to anything than a way for Vince to get paid and stay in power, but that seems to be changing, of course, too. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, the Nia Jax is a hot mess. We don't know why she's back, other than maybe if Vince wanted her back. The way they're booking her doesn't make it any better. No. And then the Chad Gable losing to Bronson Reed didn't feel exactly right, depending on where they're going.
I don't understand that was a cold piece.
It depends on what they're doing. Are they trying to
the Judgment Day thing? I still don't understand. Like,
what Judgment Day thing?
I just don't. With the trying to get him to join Judgment Day.
It's a story to tell. That's all that is.
Well, I mean, they're trying to grow their numbers, and Jey Uso was a new guy that's in the middle. So I mean, that made sense to me. They were trying to get Jey Uso to join Judgment Day. They're trying to stir the pot to make everybody that doesn't like Jey question where is he going to align. And now we're going to see where he's going to start aligning. They're trying to build. They're trying to take. They're still trying to tell the story of where Jey was and trying to get his redemption. They've done it with Kevin Owens. Now they're trying to do it with Jey Uso. At the same time, they're also showing us slowly the turn of Drew McIntyre. Now they've hinted there was a lot there. Could Drew McIntyre wind up joining Judgment Day in some weird form? Very interesting. I don't think it is, but I mean, they could tease and play on that because it definitely seems like he's slowly going heel. You could see that turn and tuck. And yes, we could say, he has issues with Jey, but they've been slowly building this kind of turn that's coming for Drew McIntyre, and where he winds up, we don't know. But I mean, if we were the Judgment Day, if you were the Judgment Day, would you not want to try to get as many people to join your group? So I mean, if Jey Uso's the newest member to the roster, would you not be making every play and move to get him to join? Because it's like the NWO and everything else. If you're a faction, you're either with us or against us. So you need to make a choice.
I was going to ask, Drew McIntyre ever a heel?
You're really asking that question?
Yeah, when he first came, I think he was a babyface when he came back.
It's been so long, I just don't remember. Like other than the Chosen One thing he had going on when he first started, but
and then he was a heel. He was working with I forgot who else, Sheamus and some of the other guys as heels.
3MB?
No, I'm talking this run since he left and repackaged himself and came back and got taken serious. No, I'm not talking about when he was with Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal. I'm talking about currently. I think he reformed. I think he was partnered up with Jinder Mahal briefly there and stuff.
Real brief.
When he was a heel, but then they built him over to take down Brock Lesnar, and that's when he kind of came babyface. But before that, he was a heel.
Yeah,
and he was pretty good. It was a good. Okay. It was a good thing, and he definitely needs to go heel now because I think that's kind of what he needs. He's kind of Blair. There's nothing else for him to do as a babyface other than win the world title, but he's not the guy right now. So I mean, turning him heel would definitely build into the long-term storyline of where you have Cody beat Roman for the title. Then you could maybe have a Drew versus Cody for the title match. You could also go Drew versus Seth Rollins here in the very close future for the title once you decide to pull that trigger. So. And could
we'll have to wait and see what happens.
I mean, Drew McIntyre could join Judgment Day on this sense. Let's say Sidney on Money in the Bank, Damian Priest cashes in. They've really switched up a lot here because it definitely looks like Damian Priest was going to go babyface, but that still could be in play that they could turn him while he cashes in the Money Bank to go babyface. So you bring in Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and why wouldn't Drew McIntyre kind of fit into that? Yeah, you have two main eventers in a way there, but I mean that could be good. And I mean, I don't know. That also looks like they're trying to break away Rhea Ripley from Dominic, and then it looks like they're going to fall out. But again, Dominic and Rhea Ripley's characters could do fine without being in the Judgment Day, even though Rhea runs the Judgment Day right now. But I mean, you could pull pieces out and put other pieces in there as you shift it. So I mean, Drew McIntyre would help shift that. So
yeah, I enjoyed Dom as a heater. I mean, the man gets the reaction he gets every single week. You can't even he can't get a word out.
Yeah. So who's getting more heat right now? I mean, was it Sammy Guevara tonight or the other night? I mean, he got booed and shut down just as bad as Dom did. So I mean, Anyways, which is a great segue, isn't it? Because now we can get into AEW Dynamite, gentlemen. Yes. So it's Dynamite. Dynamite is a Grand Slam 2-hour special. It's from Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City, New York. We have Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz on commentary. It's time for another big show with the Grand Slam. And here's where I think people are wrong. People say, oh, AEW is going to be fine with 12 pay-per-views a year. And I'm like, yeah, but if they do 12 pay-per-views a year, then why they can't be doing Grand Slams, Fighter Fest, and all these other little shows that they're doing, because then they'd be killing themselves. They'd be having every 2 weeks, we'd be having some big thing. And I think that would wear people out. So I think they don't need 12 pay-per-views a year. If they do 6 and then fill in with these others, if they do 5, I think they're good. Anything above that, I think they start pushing it, and then they start killing these weekly shows, even though they seem to, it's a hit or miss. Tony Khan just needs to find his lane and get in that lane and stay in that lane and build from there, instead of trying to do a lot of everything from every lane. It's like, find what you're good at, focus on that, and then bring in the other pieces as you go. So, I thought it was this,
No, I was talking about switching between lanes.
Oh, okay.
Driving.
Anyways, it's time for another big show from a big old tennis stadium in New York City. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Opening sequence. We get the Ring of Honor World title, New Japan Strong Openweight title, which we have our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert about here, so he can, tell us all about the New Japan Strong Openweight title, except he didn't know somebody still had that title.
Anyways, you know what? It was an honest mistake, fellas. I totally forgot. Mm-hmm. He hasn't defended it in a while. I am so sorry. I messed up one time, and I'm never going to hear the end of it. All right, bye, guys. See you later. See you later.
Oh, anyhow. So we get a title for title. Will Yuta is out with Claudio Castagnoli. They waste no time, and in exchange the forearms going to the floor. Kingston chops away against the barricade before going after the knee back inside. Claudio's is fine enough to gut wrench him into a power bomb, but the neutralizer is blocked. Kingston knocks him to the ramp, but gets suplexed hard onto said ramp. Back in, Claudio Castagnoli goes up for a middle rope double stomp, but a swan dive misses. We take a break and come back with Kingston hulking up and getting two off a backside. And Enzuigiri sets up for a T-bone suplex, and a Seattle suplex gets 2. The rapid fire chops in the corner wake Castagnoli up, but a right hand puts him down. They do the big slow motion chops off until Claudio Castagnoli hits a clothesline for 2. A Ricola bomb is countered into a sunset flip for 2, but Castagnoli uppercuts the heck out of him for 2. The Ricola bomb connects for 2 more, and New York fans are very pleased. Back up, and Kingston hits some spinning back fist into the half and half suplex into the third back fist into the Northern Lights bomb for a very near fall. Another back fist into a power bomb gives Kingston the pin, and we have a new Ring of Honor World Champion. Eddie Kingston is your new Ring of Honor World Champion and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Openweight Champion. And he is there. I mean, I tend to agree with some comments that this is maybe one of the highest places Eddie can get. I think, this is a great place for Eddie to be. This is definitely a peak of the mountain moment for him.
I got no complaints. He deserved it. He earned it. They waited so long to pull the trigger with him. I felt like this was the best thing they could do for him right now.
Of course, post-match, Claudio begrudgingly shows respect and hands over the title before leaving. Kingston gets his big moments, and the fans seem really pleased. It was a big moment. He definitely had a big moment here. Are you going to say something,
Just as
sir?
a side note, considering how long it took ROH to put the title on Christopher Daniels, yeah, Eddie deserves that.
Ooh.
I think it's great. I
Yeah.
think it definitely
Okay.
pushes Eddie up there, but I don't know where else you would go with Eddie. Eddie's good at what he does. He's a special type of wrestler. He's featured good. They use him in the right times, and I can't wait to see what is next. Earlier this week,
mean,
the
they-
Kingdom. Go ahead.
Real quick. I mean, look how New Japan presented him. The last show that I seen him at was Loser Leave New Japan match, and he sent Jay White packing.
Yeah. All right. Earlier in the week, the Kingdom was by Roderick Strong beside in the
So featured
hospital. Okay, you cut off on all that, but all right. Back to it. Earlier this week, the Kingdom was by Roderick Strong's bedside in the hospital, where he had received a card from Ogle thanking him for promoting Neck Health Awareness Month. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in case you didn't know, it's Neck Health Awareness Month. Do your part in supporting neck health awareness. Strong calls out for Adam, who shows up immediately. Cole trades some barbs with the Kingdom before the two of them leave. Cole has to go as well because of MJF's title match at Grand Slam, so Roderick tells him to just freaking go. Christian Cage is ready to take out Sting and Darby Allin, but he's also ready for Luchasaurus to get a TNT title shot on Collision, but Sting is barred from ringside. New York baseball jokes are included. And so, this leads us into one of the bigger matches of the night. The Ocho, the Lionhearted, the Painkiller. I forget what his Spanish, what was it? Oh, I forget what his Spanish name was. He had another name in there besides Lionhearted, Chris Jericho. Y2J, I don't remember now. Anyways, Chris Jericho against Sammy Guevara. Two friends going to have a match to find their place. Les Sex Gods are going to have their match tonight. Anyways, Guevara has a Jericho-style light-up vest. Oh, yes, this is right. Guevara comes out with a mocking light-up vest of Jericho, which was great. The only bad part was he did get wrapped into the ring by Matzizi? I don't know what his name is. It was horrible. How do you rap to your song that's playing, but the words aren't dubbed out? Like, you could hear the lyrics, and it was just horrible. It sounded horrible. I'm sorry, he was rapping, but you could hear the full song in the background. I'm like, you should have just. I mean, he's the rap artist. This is his rap, so why doesn't he just have the dub version where he can rap and not have the double audio that just made it sound horrible? Like, you are a big company like this, you have all your money, and you don't have somebody who knows how to quickly dub that so that it doesn't sound terrible. It was just cringe.
Real quick. You asked about the names of Chris Jericho. His Mexican name was Corazon de Leon.
Yeah.
There.
Yep. They tried wrestling.
Okay, now you can go.
They tried to. Well, wasn't he that in New Japan for a while too? Was that when he came over to New Japan?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried the wrestling to start before switching to chopping away. Guevara hits a drop kick, but Jericho isn't happy with him trying the Sex Gods pose. Jericho hits a backbreaker to send him outside, but misses the triangle drop kick. Sends him outside, but misses the triangle drop kick. Guevara's dive is broken up, and they both crash out on the floor as we take a break. Jericho hitting a heck of a clothesline for the two, but Guevara grabs a code breaker. Jericho bails to the floor, gets taken out with the moonsault, only to drop kick Guevara out of the air back inside. Another triangle drop kick doesn't work as Sammy kicks the air in the general vicinity of Jericho's head. A top rope cutter connects, but I don't know. Anyways, countered into the walls. Guevara breaks that up as well, and they both go up top where Guevara grabs a twisting cutter for two more. Jericho hits the bulldog, but comes back with a knee to the face. What is this? The GTH connects this time, and Guevara goes up only for the shooting star to be turned into a code breaker. It definitely looked awesome, and Jericho picks up the pin at 15:09. And post-match, they hug until Guevara decides to kick. Jericho in the no spot, in the no square. No. Yep. So Guevara goes for a low kick, which cues Don Callis. who has now a new member of the family because this was getting interesting and we needed Callis to destroy it all. So Don Callis, Guevara has decided to sign up and be part of the Don Callis family. He didn't want to be a part of the Appreciation Society anymore. He didn't want to be in the inner circle anymore. No, he wanted to be a part of the family. So yes, Guevara is now riding with Don Callis. MJF has been mad at Samoa Joe for 8 years and promises to choke him out. Adam Cole is there for the fist bump, but answers a call from Roderick Strong instead. Cole goes off to assure Strong that he isn't going to die, leaving MJF to promise victory over Joe. Don Callis promises answers on Rampage, and Daniel Garcia comes in and almost gets in an argument with Sammy Guevara, but Callis gets Guevara out of there. Now for a big match of the night, which was, but we will discuss this too, and we will discuss this more afterwards. The international title champion Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix. Fenix with Alex is the challenging. They fight on the ramp before the bell with Rey Fenix getting the better of, and sending him inside officially. What? That was a horrible way of reading it. Anyways, Phoenix is on the ramp. They fight outside before the match, and Phoenix is on the ramp. He gets Moxley knocked off the ramp, and then Phoenix flies off into some type of leg lariat that knocks Moxley on the ground. This is where we initially looks like Moxley got concussed in this match because he definitely had his bell rung. You could see Phoenix crawl over to him, put his hand in Moxley's hand to look for the squeeze. Moxley was definitely dazed. Phoenix had to help him get to his feet, and Moxley kind of staggered. And then when he rolled him into the ring, Moxley couldn't even roll himself all the way in the ring, and Phoenix had to try and finish it. Anyways, the match officially starts. Moxley stomps him down, and they start. They're already back on the floor with Moxley knocking him over the barricade. Phoenix tries a barricade walk, but gets pulled down into a double arm DDT on the floor, which is beautiful. Back in, and Phoenix hits a rolling cutter into a fog splash for 2. Phoenix knocks him to the floor and drapes him over the apron for a top rope knee. Either way, it sends us to break, and we come back with Moxley sending him to the ramp for the stomp. Ooh, we got a nice stomp on the ramp, shades of Seth Rollins. Anyways, back in, and Moxley hits a power driver for 2. Phoenix comes back with a hard shot and the black fire driver for 2. Despite Moxley not kicking out, Rick Knox does not count the 2, stops at about 2.5 for whatever reason, and then you can see Moxley pretty much say, "Do it again," and Phoenix picks up Moxley and does another black fire driver and gets the 1, 2, 3. We have a new international champion, and it did not look like that was the plan. And Moxley was pretty bad shape. If you watch fan cameras or fan footage of this, you can see that the ref was holding Moxley's neck after the match. And there's a lot of heat on Rick Knox for how this ended. There's a lot of heat on Tony Khan for what happened here. This is why I say AEW needs to get in control, because a lot of people are getting hurt way too easily over stuff that doesn't need to happen. If you watch the slow-mo of this, you can see that when Rey Fenix hits that black fire driver, he spreads his legs and Moxley's head hits that mat. And if you watch the second time he does it, the ref even goes, when he hits it. And the sad part was there was a beautiful video up by Steven Richards, who played the slow-mo, showed it in slow-mo, talked about how dangerous it is to do these things. And either WB or AEW has had his video removed for using their footage. So I don't know if it's a WB thing or if it's an AEW thing in this one, because he did kind of go off on the ref and, for not, because I guess this is Rick Knox was the same ref in the Alex Reynolds issue, the night Alex Reynolds got seriously injured, we thought. So, yeah.
He's the man behind the events of Matt Hardy and Guevara during their arena brawl.
Okay, you're back in. You were cutting it out of there. Again, I don't, this was, you could see that Mox was probably got his bell rung from the beginning of this match. It looked when Rey Fenix dived off and hit that leg clothesline, and the way Moxley hit and got back up, you could just see he was staggered. He wasn't there. Eventually, he came back around and started to feel like he was okay, so it seemed like it wasn't going to be that serious. But you never saw a ref. The ref never went over and talked to Moxley or checked on Moxley or did anything. They just let it fly. And then after, I don't get what Rick Knox was thinking when he counted the 1, 2.5, and he stopped. It may have not been the finish that was designed, but as a ref, and I think as we as fans always know, the ref's supposed to count no matter what happens. If they're down, it's on the wrestler, but you count the 3. You don't stop because something doesn't go right, and it was a horribly bad botch there. And then the ref allowed Ray Phoenix to drive Moxley's head into the mat again, which is what I think a lot of people are upset about. Like, okay, you know something's wrong here. Why would you let him do that same move over again, driving that man's head into the mat? It's just bad. And then you have to look at Tony Khan going, Tony, what are you doing about these things? And are you going to hold certain, I mean, is the ref going to get held accountable? Are we going to look at moves that are not being done safely? Not saying that Ray Phoenix is unsafe. I'm just saying it does not look good. When you take somebody into a tombstone type of maneuver, this is called, I've heard it called a Phoenix driver. They're calling it a black fire driver here. But when you're doing that, you're supposed to protect your opponent. And if you look at it, Ray Phoenix spreads his leg. There's nowhere for, Moxley to hold his head back. Or there's nowhere for Moxley's head to really land except straight into that mat. And once it's bad enough, but when you see it twice and you already know his spell is wrong. So he did wind up with a minor concussion and is on concussion protocol. So we'll have to see what happens with Moxley. We'll get more into that later.
I was going to ask real quick, did anyone see where Doc Samson was the whole time? Because normally he's ringside.
He was ringside. After the match, I've seen fan footage where the ref was there holding Moxley's hand, and the ref rolled in to check on him, and then they got Moxley in the back. And, of course, then there's the whole, yes, Tony Khan was back there checking on Moxley, and, of course, Renee was back there, and it was pretty serious. There's pictures of them all at his trailer checking on him, but then there's a lot of people upset because Tony Khan was later seen doing a dancing fool dance with Daniel Garcia on stage in front of the fans than not. So, but yeah, the doc was right there. So Samoa Joe does a quick promo, says he's ready to end MJF. After the break, we come back, and we were told Moxley was able to leave the ring under his own power. There's a big multi-team match on Rampage for a Ring of Honor tag title shot announced. Okay. Then we get the Saraya versus Toni Storm match for the women's title. Saraya comes out with Ruby Soho, is defending, and slaps away to start. Storm smiles at her. Saraya asks her, why are you smiling? We had a Brock Lesnar Undertaker moment there. Anyways, the brawl is on, and with Storm taking over, Storm crawls under the ring, comes up with some shoes to beat up Soho. Another shoe to the face gives Storm 2 on Saraya. And then, of course, they cut the commercial. We have Saraya in trouble, but Soho steals the spray paint from Storm. Said paint is slipped to Saraya, who blasts Storm in the face and hits the nightcap for 2. Back up, and Storm kisses Saraya, setting up for Storm 0 for 2. The hip attack in the corner misses Saraya by a lot, but hits the exposed turnbuckle. The nightcap and Saraya retains the title at 8 minutes, 49 seconds. And supposedly there's, I don't know if that kiss was by design, because supposedly Saraya is very upset that Toni Storm kissed her during this match. I read a report on, so I don't know. So now we get a video of the Samoa Joe MJF storyline, and we get the world title match. Samoa Joe versus Maxwell Jacob Friedman. The devil is in the building. Only MJF's AEW World title is on the lines, and MJF gets a Bret Hart tribute entrance. Yes, he did. He came out to a Bret Hart tribute entrance, and was that an early or mid-90s tribute entrance?
Early 90s.
Yeah, Bret Hart was coming down the aisle. The kid was there. Bret turned around and gave him the glasses. MJF went down and gave the kid his scarf, and then told the kid, or whispered in the ears, he was adopted as the kid. And as MJF walks away, the kid goes, "Dad, I'm adopted." So they do a ha-ha Bret Hart tribute entrance, so you got a good laugh. The fans are chanting MJF in the hallway, saying, "Go get him, champ." Oh, yeah, the kid says, "Go get him, champ." Same thing as before. MJF second gears, rather New York sports. Oh, yeah, he had the Buffalo Bills, the New York Giants. Any New York team was on that jacket. He was representing his home state. Joe takes over fast to start a running big boot into the backsplash, gets 2, and we take a break with MJF already starting out in trouble. MJF scoring with a kick to the chest and some clothesline, but Joe won't go down. Instead, Joe drops him again and rips off his Mets-inspired jersey. That's enough to fire up MJF up, and he's hammers away in the corner, setting up a Hulk Hogan impression and the kangaroo kick to send Joe outside. Joe's right back up with the Death Valley driver on the apron. Joe laughs like a villain. Joe release rock bottoms him through a table at ringside for 2 inside. They head outside again with Joe peeling back the floor mat for a power driver, and here are the trainers to check on MJF's. Joe beats up said trainers and gets 2 back inside. MJF spits in the face and grabs a sit-out powerbomb before throwing on a sleeper that's countered into a coquina clutch in all of a second, but MJF kicks him low for the escape. The diamond ring is loaded up, but the referee takes it away, allowing Joe to hit his own low blow. The Muscle Buster gets 2, so Joe grabs a sleeper. Cue Adam Cole to cheer MJF on. The third arm drop doesn't go, though. MJF gets his own sleeper, but the referee gets bumped. Joe slips out and goes after Cole, so MJF unravels some tape and uses the tape, sets up a sleeper, and chokes out Joe with the tape. Somewhere in this whole debacle, I forget where Cole, I don't know if it was when he was coming down or after, but Cole jumped off that ramp, landed funky, and it sprained or hurt his ankle, wound up going to the hospital after the show, and was seen later coming out on crutches. And after the match, of course, Cole gets the tape, hides it. Joe shakes MJF's hands after the match, which was a great moment, and it really gave a rub to MJF. Somebody you wouldn't think anybody would able, but yeah, if Joe giving you the handshake definitely pulls MJF up a level. So MJF pulling out all the stops and choking out Joe. It was an impressive night. It was a fairly good night, other than the horrible botch, the Sammy Guevara turning, the weird moments in some of it, but it was a fairly good show. Gentlemen, your thoughts on Dynamite?
First off, to quote my son, Jericho got kicked in the nuggets. Those were his exact words when it happened. I could not stop laughing.
That's my no square.
But I honestly, I was in and out after that botch driver. I couldn't, not anymore after that.
Yeah. No, and we'll get more to that later, but yeah.
Mhm.
So MJF getting the handshake from Samoa Joe. Yes, good deal. But it's not a Brock Lesnar hug.
No.
Right.
No. But Cody kind of needed that, and we'll have to see how that plays out. But no, you're right in that sense. Anyways, shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about SmackDown as MJF leaves the building. Anyways, it's SmackDown live from the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Captain Patrick are at commentary. It's a special show tonight as John Cena is still around and isn't taking too kindly to how he has been treated by the Bloodline. So, continuing to build the fast lane, still no matches. The show is still 2 weeks away. What the hell? Okay, I did something boo-boo there. Okay. No, it didn't do. Okay. Never mind. I have so many screens up when I do all this, so sometimes I hit a button and it changes things that I wasn't expecting, but we're good. Here's John Cena to get things going. Cena talks about doing a lot of things since returning, with the fans wanting him a lot, including about being a referee. Eventually, Cena admits defeat and says tonight is different than any other night he's had since he's been back. He's here to get back in the ring, but he's also mad. That means mad at the Bloodline, and he has a partner in mind, as in a phenomenal partner. So here's AJ Styles, a phenomenal one. Yes, Cena wants him to face the Bloodline tonight, so Styles is in. Cue the Bloodline minus Paul Heyman, but they back off instead of fighting. Post break, we get Cena and Styles begging Adam Pearce to make the match, but Pearce is like, he's got to talk to Paul Heyman. It's not just as simple as making a match when it comes to the Bloodline. Leaving Styles and Cena both confused. The LWO versus the Street Profits. Yes. And okay, welcome back. Zelina Vega and Bobby Lashley are here too. Dawkins shoulders Escobar down to, okay, when we talk about the LWO, it was Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar versus Dawkins, and Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford. Jeez, can remember names.
Mhm.
Anyways. So Dawkins shoulders Escobar down to start, but Escobar is back up with a dropkick. Mysterio comes in for an ankle scissors, but it's off to Ford to drop Mysterio for 2. Ford is sent outside where Ray misses a dive, and Dawkins runs Escobar over. We take a break and come back with Ray in trouble, and Ford cutting off an escape attempt. The tag attempt goes through. A few seconds later, and it's Escobar coming in to pick up the pace. A high crossbody gets 2 on Ford, but he kicks Escobar in the head and hits a splash for 2 of his own. Escobar catches him on the top with a super Hurricanrana for 2, but the Phantom Driver is broken up. Dawkins comes back in and sky highs Ray for 2 before Lashley gets a cheap shot in. That doesn't seem cool with Dawkins, allowing Ray to grab a sunset flip for the pin at 10 minutes, 48 seconds. And so here we go. We get a weird ending in this match. The Profits were doing definitely good, but it doesn't seem like they're good. And it doesn't seem like Lashley's going to be too happy to with this, so we'll have to see how this play out. We know Lashley isn't happy as he leaves the ringside arena. We look back at The Rock returning last week, and here's Austin Theory. He looked like he came out of the crowd to yell at the commentary as they talk about The Rock. The referees get rid of him. We get a preview with Alba Fire and
Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn, there we go. Implying their magic is the reason the women's tag titles feel cursed. That's a clever way to go. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory run into the Brawling Brutes, who mock their way into a tag match tonight. Back in the locker room, Bobby Lashley yells at the Street Profits, saying that he wants all the stuff back that he gave him, the watches, the suits, and everything, and they can go back and sit in catering, and he will find somebody else who will do the job. What does this mean? Is this already a canceling of this, or is this building to maybe getting the Street Profits over in a way? It kind of seems weird and strange to, I don't know. Is this another way to push the Profits to become more heel-like and continue to build the stable? Are they done with Bobby Lashley being with the Street Profits? Are they going to split up the Street Profits? Because it was Angelo Dawkins who didn't like, Bobby Lashley interfering, and Montez Ford became more vocal later. So is there something that might be playing into all of that? Who knows? We get a video package of Asuka challenging Io Sky for the women's title. 2 belts Io. I know, gentlemen, 2 belts Io. We will have a moment. We'll have a moment pause just for that. Okay, just yes.
Just for Miguel.
Anyways, no. When you hear Io Sky and 2 belts, Miguel goes,
It's gonna be me.
I got nothing.
Adam Pearce is talking.
Well, that's
about
not good for you.
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh. We have so much fun here.
Okay. Oh, you didn't know?
Anyways, so we get Adam Pearce talks to Paul Heyman, but we can't hear what they say, and now we are in for the women. This is the WWE Women's Title on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Sky with Bayley and Dakota Kai is defending. Hold on, though. Here is Charlotte to watch at ringside. Sky grabs a wrist lock to start before they go to the mat. Back up, and Asuka misses a kick, allowing Asuka to snap off some arm drag. Sky catches her on the top of the super arm drag to the floor, only to miss an Asai moonsault. Asuka kicks her in the head, and then we go. Sky hitting a double stomp for the 2, but Asuka gets in a suplex for the same. Sky palm strikes her down for 2 more, only to have Asuka grab an armbar with that broken up. Asuka hits a missile drop kick and fires off some rather hard strikes. A sliding kick to the face gets 2, and Asuka grabs a Fujiwara armbar. That's broken up, so they head outside where Asuka kicks the post by mistake. Sky moonsaults to the floor, barely makes contact. Yeah, she barely made contact. Like, I think she only got Asuka's arm and all that. And then we go there. Asuka in a chin lock, and Sky switching places to keep her from the ropes. Asuka reverses it into an Asuka kick, but Sky makes the ropes. A kick to the head gives Asuka 2, and we hit the cross arm breaker. will make that the Oscar. Oh, okay. Cross arm breaker, the Oscar lock again, but this time Bailey puts the foot on the ropes for the break. Charlotte decks Bailey, but the distraction lets Sky hit the running knee to the back. Over the moonsault, retains the title at 19 minutes, 27 seconds. We had a good 20-minute match between Asuka and two-belt Io Sky. Yeah. Io Sky, still your WWE Women's Champion. Breathe. Just,
Yeah.
Adam Pearce comes in.
All right, I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I got something for everything. Okay. Anyways, Adam Pearce comes in to see the Bloodline and has a contract for the main event. Paul Heyman is fine with the match taking place anytime but tonight, so we'll do it at Fastlane. It's about time. Yes. The contract signing is tonight, which works for Jimmy.
Is that one match?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a match.
One match. All right.
Well, they're not. They've they haven't really been building the other one either. Wrestle Dream. They've got a couple matches, but it's not been. They're not doing. Neither promotion's really selling these pay-per-views right now, and
Hey, Wrestle Dream is doing better than Fastlane as far as the build.
well,
especially
they got
by the
build.
time tonight came.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they're picking up.
Thank
they're,
you.
Thank you.
So, ticket sales will be different. We'll see how that plays out. Anyways, the contract signings tonight with words for Jimmy, which works for Jimmy. With Pierce gone, Heyman says Roman Reigns needs to approve decisions like that. With Jimmy gone, Solo Sikoa says there's nothing to worry about after tonight, and he looks at his thumb, and Heyman calls Roman. A sad Kit Wilson is in the hospital with the still injured Elton Prince, who drops his drink and needs assistance. We get a training montage as Prince attempts to recover it and doesn't go well. The orthopedic surgeon says he'll be fine, but Prince is in tears. Granted, it could be because Wilson is pulling his hair as he cradles Prince's head. Anyways, then we get the Brawling Brutes versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Theory takes over on Holland to start before Waller comes in to knee away at Butch. It's back to Holland for the swinging front face lock into a butterfly suplex. The slingshot double stomp hits Waller, setting up stereo forearms to the chest. We take a break and come back with a clothesline, keeping Butch in trouble before Waller fires off knees in the corner. Waller loads up his own forearms, but Butch snaps the fingers and flips over him for the tag to Holland. Everything breaks down, and Holland Gorilla presses Theory into a power slam for 2. Butch moonsaults on the Waller, and Holland escapes A-Town down. An Alabama slam gets 2 on Theory, and the Boston Crab keeps him in trouble. Waller manages to post Butch through and though, and the rolling center saves Theory. A-Town down finishes Holland at 10 minutes 43 seconds. It's time for the contract signing for Fast Lane Tag Match. John Cena comes out and signs immediately, and then they announce AJ Styles. AJ Styles music plays, and we get no AJ. We cut to the back where Jimmy Uso is beating AJ Styles down, eventually throws him over some equipment boxes in the back, and Solo Sikoa, who's way up high, jumps off and hits AJ Styles and leaves him out laying cold. Post-match, Styles is taken out in an ambulance with Carol Anderson telling AJ he shouldn't have got involved, and told Cena, he told him not to get involved with this bloodline stuff. Eventually, the bloodline heads back to the ring, clears it out, or Solo Sikoa clears it out, throwing everything out of the ring. Paul Heyman says John Cena is now minus a partner for Fastlane, and Jimmy Uso finds it hilarious. Cues Cena to go after the bloodline, but the numbers game takes him out. Solo loads up a thumb, and Cena gets dropped. Jimmy goes up for a Superfly Splash, then signs the contract. Solo signs the contract as well after looking at Heyman for approval. Just a note. And then Jimmy goes up for another splash. The bloodline poses at the end of the show. Cena is going to need a big partner, like a megastar kind of partner. Wow, you're selling that. Anyways, it was really interesting. I don't get what happened in the end of this. If anybody was paying attention, the camera kind of, what's Bucktooth Beaver boy's name? I forget.
Oh, fuck.
Bucktooth Beaver in the back, camera boy.
I know who you're talking about now.
Kevin Dunn.
Yeah, Kevin Dunn.
Yes, that's it.
I don't know what Kevin Dunn got off on with this, but I mean, he started panning the crowd. They put on the red and yellow lights briefly. They were all over the place with this camera. Like, they were in the audience. They were zooming in and out. They were over here on this audience. They went everywhere with this camera. It's like,
It changed
really,
4 different times.
man, it was almost making me sick. And I'm like going, okay, I know you guys already know that. Unless Kevin Dunn didn't know he wasn't there. Anyways, the story and the rumors is that none other than
everybody saying L.A. Knight?
was supposed to come down, make the save, and become Cena's partner for this match. Hopefully that will continue into next week. But unfortunately, LA Knight showed up to the show and was diagnosed with or found out to he tested positive for COVID. And so we hope that everything's okay with him. We send him our best wishes. It's kind of scary with recent events of Bray Wyatt, knowing that he contracted COVID, and this is what set a other health problem and issue. No, Bray Wyatt did not die from COVID, if that's being reported or you think that's what it is. No, COVID just exacerbated an underlying heart issue that Bray Wyatt had, which led to him having a heart attack or having heart failure and passing away in his sleep. So, you know, unfortunately, COVID is
just so everyone knows, those who are watching right now, we stay accurate with the information given to us. Just so you know, we're not.
Oh no, we
no one catches
here
that.
at the Value Wrestling are going to find out the information. If we don't know, we're going to tell you what we know or what we don't know, and we're always going to tell you. We're going to keep looking into it, and we're always going to find out information. But Bray Wyatt didn't pass away from COVID. It was COVID did exacerbate the heart issue that eventually led to heart failure, a heart attack when we lost Bray Wyatt, which is sad. And so when you hear LA Knight testing positive, and I think anybody at this point, you hear somebody testing positive, you kind of jump back because you're a little afraid. Hopefully there's no underlying medical issues, because it's not necessarily COVID's a big thing. It's this: if you have something that's underlining that COVID can affect, can make that worse. But as far as I know, and as far as we've read and looked into, there is no reports of LA Knight having any other major issues. It doesn't even look like COVID's really a big deal. He just tested positive for COVID. They got to put him in COVID protocol, which I think is down to 7 days now, 5 or 7 days from the original 14-9. So he should be back by next SmackDown. Hopefully he gets through this, passes it, and he will be back down, and we will be seeing him joining Cena and going to Fastlane to get in the Bloodline picture. So that is SmackDown. That is what is going on. That is why the weird ending of SmackDown happened. It was supposed to be LA Knight. It looks like Kevin Dunn didn't know LA Knight wasn't there, because it looks like they were starting to get ready for LA Knight to come down, but he never came down. I don't know what the ending was about. It was really, really weird.
Here's my thing: is how did they say that they didn't know he was there when he wasn't even at the building?
Well, from what I understand, he came to the building and tested positive, and that's why they had to send him out. But I'm saying, even if they knew he was tested, what I'm saying is, I don't know if Kevin Dunn got the message.
That's what I was wondering. Like, where's the information? Why wasn't it being passed all the way down?
That I can't answer you.
Let's hope that all is well. And like you said, we'll see him next week. I'll see him next week. That'll be a great thing.
Yeah. So I'm sure we will see him back on Raw next week. I think the protocol is down to 5 or 7 days or something. It's not as serious as it once was. And hopefully there's no big issues with it, and he can recover and get back in. And it's just, it's a flu. He will get through it, and he will be okay. We are not ones here to go one way or another. You need to do what you need to do to keep yourself safe. Whatever you feel you need to do to keep yourself safe is what you do. We are not ones at the Value Wrestling to tell you what to do or how you should do it, or you need to do that or need to do this.
Take care of yourself.
Everybody here, if you're an adult, you're responsible for yourself, and I think you should know yourself and how to take care of yourself. If you're underage, then you listen to your parents' advice and do what they would best recommend, and hopefully that isn't a positive. But anyways, we don't want to get deep in that topic. We just hope that it gets over with, and we will be talking about LA Knight coming back next week, teaming up with John Cena, going into Fastlane. That's SmackDown, gentlemen. Is there anything you want to add to SmackDown before we move into the second night of Grand Slam
Just that whole ending threw me off, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it was a little different. But let's well, okay, yeah. Now we're in the Rampage. So, Rampage was the second
2
night
hours.
of Grand Slam, and they broke it up as part 1 and part 2 since it was 2 hours. I don't know why. I had to watch it on part 1 and part 2, so it was interesting to see that. Anyways, we are back at Ottawa Stadium. We have Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Ian Riccaboni. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay. It's a 2-hour special edition of the show, and hopefully this means it gets a bit more of attention. Anyways, the opening sequence is Luchasaurus and Christian Cage versus Darby Allin and Sting. Nick Wayne is here with Allin and Sting. It's a brawl before the match, and Luchasaurus is knocked outside. Sting sends Cage into the steps, but Luchasaurus sends Allin into the post, and a huge crash out to the floor. We settle down to Cage choking Allin inside, and Luchasaurus whipping him hard into the corner. Luchasaurus cuts him off. A tag attempt, and we take a break. Luchasaurus hitting a choke slam on Allin to keep him in trouble. Allin manages to slip away from Christian, though. It's off to Sting. House is clean, including a spinebuster to Christian and a double stinger splash. A scorpion death coffin drop hits Luchasaurus, but Christian pokes Allin in the eye. Wayne offers a distraction, though, and Allin gets a jackknife roll-up for the pin at 7 minutes, 40 seconds, and we get a win by Sting and Darby Allin. Next, we get the Chris Statlander, Orange Cassidy, and Hook versus Anna Jay, Angelo Parker, and Matt Menard. Jake Hager is here with his buddies. Hook and Menard start things off, but the latter keeps tagging in and out with Parker. Hook beats them both up, but Menard tags Jay in to escape Red Rum. A running spin wheel kick hits Statlander in the corner, but she's right back with a delayed suplex. Hager jumps Cassidy, though, and the distraction lets Jay hit a super kick. A distracted Hook is taken out as well, and it's a belly-to-back suplex inside. With Hook hitting a double clothesline and handing it off to Cassidy for a drop kick to Menard and Parker, everything breaks down, and the Heroes hit a triple suplex. A jumping elbow to the back hits Cassidy, and Hager gets in a cheap shot on Hook. Jay grabs the Queen Slayer on Cassidy, but Statlander breaks it up with a faceplant. Cassidy orange punches Parker for the pin at 9 minutes, 26 seconds. QTV, why? Because whatever. QTV shows us some footage of QT Marshall winning a match in Montreal. Marshall sends in a text saying he wants a partner for next week. Aaron Solo and Johnny TV think it should be them, and Solo is disappointed when it's not him. Now we get Don Callis and Takeshita to explain Sammy Guevara's actions. Callis talks about how everyone was enthralled with him going after Jericho a few weeks ago. Now, though, here is the newest member of the Don Callis family, Sammy Guevara. Cue Sammy in a flowered shirt and white pants to say he hated Callis at first, but Guevara was only showing him that he never had a family in the first place. Guevara is sick of the fans and Chris Jericho, so here is Jericho. Oh, and here comes Jericho to go after him. Takeshita makes the save with a bunch of chair shots, and Callis busts out the screwdriver. Cue Kenny Omega for the save with a pipe, chasing off the Don Callis family. Omega and Jericho cheese fighting, but it's okay. And now we have a moment between Omega and Jericho. Post-match, Omega says that he was about going after Callis and company rather than saving Jericho. Cue Jericho to say AEW was built on their feud, but now they should team up to face Callis family at Wrestle Dream. Oh, and Kota Ibushi will team with them, so the Callis needs to find a third. So we have the Don Callis family versus Jericho, Kota Ibushi, and Kenny Omega for Wrestle Dream. So there you go. Best Friends versus the Hardys versus the Righteous versus the Kingdom for a contendership at the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. With the Hardys having the same chance as the Righteous despite losing to the Righteous last week. It's a brawl to start until the Hardys beat and the Best Friends have a stare down. The four-way hug is broken up, though, and a bunch of them head outside for the flight of the Concord from Taven? Flight of the Concord? Yes?
The Condor?
Okay. Back in the Best Friends hug, followed by a stereo running flip dives. We take a break and come back with Matt's side affecting Vincent for 2, setting up Jeff Splash for the same. Everything breaks down in the righteous clean house, but the best friends grab some suplexes, Chuck super kick Taven, but Soul Food is broken up. Bennett hits Taylor low, and the Hail Mary. Spike Power Driver gets 2 as Beretta makes the save. Jeff tags himself in for the Swanton but Vincent tags himself in and hits him with his own Swanton for the pin on Taylor at 9 minutes, 30 seconds. And the Righteous now have a title match for the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles. Poach match, the Kingdom takes out Best Friends with some chairs. And now we get Mike Santana. Because Santana needed a first name. Mike Santana is ready to wonder where his life went. Where's it? Okay. Now he's back to so don't get in between him and his family. If you don't like it, fight him or fire him. Cool. Now we get the Trios Tag Team title match. We have the Dark Order going up against the Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed. We get the Dark Order of Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver, Johnny Hungry. The Gunn and Acclaimed are finning and points for Scissor Me Daddy ass signs. Caster chops Reynolds to start and arm drags him into an armbar. Back up and Caster is taken into the corner for some clubbering, but he easily drives Silver into the champ's corner. It's off to Bowens for some fired up right hands before Gunn comes in for a scissoring double elbow. Scissor Me Timbers is broken up by Reynolds, though, and Silver's bridging German suplex gets 2 on Bowens. The Order mocks the scissoring, and we take a break back with Reynolds hitting a running corner clothesline for 2 on Caster. The beating doesn't last long enough as Caster gets over to Gunn for the hot tag without much effort. Gunn drops Silver and hands it off to Bowens, who's quickly small package for 2. Back up, and Bowens hits a super kick, setting up the arrival. And the mic drop. Silver makes the save, and Uno belts Caster in the head for 2. Bowens is back in, so an assisted Iconic Klasman can retain the titles at 10 minutes, 38 seconds. The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn retain the titles.
Yep.
And then we... No? That's it? Scissor me? No? Okay. Anyways, next we get Julia Hart versus Sky Blue, and good God, did they make Julia Hart look like $1 million with this entrance. Impressive music, the imagery. I mean, good God, they have her set up to be something special. Tony Khan, do not ruin this. I'm telling you right now, Tony Khan, you have a prize there in what you did with Julia Hart. The look, the music, everything she did was just perfect. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for. You were just like, yeah, this bitch is going to win. I mean, she walked out, and that's what you saw. You're just like, yep, this is going to be a win for Julia Hart. There's no I mean,
this is one of those silver platter moments that it's handed to him, and he needs to it alone.
It looks stunning. The music, the song, she was singing along with it, the way she walks with her mannerisms, that she's still like hypnotized or into it. I mean, this was just, I was awe impressed. It made me stop everything else and just go, okay, yeah. The hat with the lights. I mean, everything about this worked. You know, so many times that you can overdo something, but they just everything in
this makes you stop dead in your tracks.
Oh yeah, this makes you go, that person's gonna be somebody. I mean, goosebumps maybe. I mean, Undertaker-esque vibes there definitely could be something if they play it right. I mean, it was. I'm sorry, it was up there, kind of in that aura of like an Undertaker-esque entrance. I mean, it was just like, okay, you've got something here. And Brody King being there was just an impressive piece to add to it. But I mean, by herself, I mean, it was great. Julia Hart has won 24 singles matches in a row. She is on a roll.
What's up, G?
I tried to give you a physical sign so I wouldn't talk over you. I'm going like this, going, yeah, I'm just waiting for a shot here.
I can't see that. That's the thing.
That's not good.
You got to do this.
You're off screen. You got to
see it coming.
You got to have
coming.
Yeah, you got a box about that big. So there you go. Yes.
Does that help?
Yep.
Anywho, this is the reason why people should have been watching AEW Dark and Elevation. He's had this entrance for a while. He's been doing this great for a while. Now, granted, she hasn't been given the chance on regular TV, so I understand why there's a fair amount who don't know her presence, but she's had this for a while.
Yeah. with that being said, she's on a 24-match winning streak, so they are definitely doing something. Oh, and we get the awesome moment. I do respect the Blue Sky Julia Hart here. They both take their hats off at the same moment in the same way Undertaker has tried to do it. It was great. It was a great moment. It's a small thing, but it was definitely good. And then we got the handshake from Hart, only to pull Blue in and whisper into her ear. Blue gets a slap, so she forearms away and hits a knee to Hart's face. The suplex gives Blue 2, but Hart sends her into the corner and hammers away. We take a break and come back with Blue kicking her in the head for 2 more. Hart catches her on top and hits a suplex, but manages to hang onto the ropes. Look upside down at her for a bit. Heartless and Skyfall are both blocked, but the second Heartless attempt makes Blue tap out at 8 minutes, 14 seconds, and Julia Hart looks like $1 million. I mean, she looks better than probably everybody else in the House of Black right now. I'm sorry. I hate to say that.
Damn.
I don't see anything. I'm no argument here. Like I said,
she gave me the goosebumps.
please
I was
don't
like,
screw this up.
I was like, this is Undertaker
Don't screw
vibes.
this
This is
up.
what the whole House of Black should be giving us every time they come out. But they don't, you know. They gave him the trios titles and then took him off him real quick just to get him over to the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. And it's just like, Tony Khan keeps taking Malachi Black and doing something and then stopping and then doing, and then it's, you know, so it's like you can't take the House of Black seriously. Brody King looks just massively impressive anyways, especially when he gets dressed up. I mean, he cleans up real nice, but I mean, I wish they would give them this whole aura. They did have that great entrance at, what was it, All Out? Or was it All In where they did the
All
Bray
Out.
Wyatt?
'Cause I think that was the one that you got a good one. All Out, yeah.
Well, they did the Bray Wyatt moment, and they had something, but it's just like,
That
I don't
was
know.
that was at Webley, yeah.
What they did with Hart, and if they've been doing this is great. So if they've been doing this, why can't they do it with the rest of the group? That would be my question. If they can do it with Julia Hart, why can't they do it with the rest of them? Hey, I'm ready to see Julia Hart versus Rhea Ripley. That's how good this was, type of aura, you know? Like, I could buy Julia Hart being a threat to Rhea Ripley just based on how they presented her.
Great presence needs more time. Needs more reps.
Well, I know that, but I mean the ring, the look.
It's like we're saying right now, please do not screw this up.
Well, I mean, he doesn't only need to screw it up, but he needs to bring the rest of that group up to that level. They should be having entrances that are just like that are just holy crap. Because these are 3 guys, especially Malachi Black, yes. Tommy End. Anyways, he should be in the era of like another. I mean, he should be in the aura of like you speak Undertaker, you speak Bray Wyatt. Malachi Black should be in that same presence. And there's been times when he was in WWE that he kind of had that vibe, but then they killed it, you know. And in the beginning of AEW, kind of had that vibe, but then they just kind of. And then they brought the House of Black, and we thought this was going to be something great, and it's just kind of like, you know. Hasn't really got it, but if they've been doing this with Julia Black since they got her in the House of Black, I might go, okay, so you know how to do it. Why aren't you doing it with them? Post-match, we get Will Nightingale out to help, and Heartless, and Julia Hart gets Heartless again on Will Nightingale, or it gets Heartless on it, and Will Nightingale comes and gets the save. There we go. I will get it straight eventually. We get Bullet Club Gold practicing their Spanish before Jay White faces Andrade El Idolo on Collision. White is ready for him, as you might expect. Andrade Idolo getting more TV time. How's that work out for him? I guess we'll have to discuss that when we get there. Mike Santana, because Santana needed a first name, and nobody can tell me why Santana needed a first name.
Well, we didn't want to get confused with Tito.
Oh, no.
Ole. Strike Force, maybe El Matador, you know. Anywho. So Santana needed a first name, so we called him Mike. Mike Santana is what we got now. I don't know why. Just Santana was fine with me. Anyways, we got Mike Santana against Bronson. Bronson starts fast and hammers away in the corner, but Santana is back with a rolling cutter, a discus lariat into a cannonball, sets up a double underhook codebreaker for the pin at 2 minutes, 26 seconds. Santana looked pretty good. At least as good as you can get in a match with such little time. Post-match, Ortiz comes out for the stare down and trash talk ensues. So we're going to push the Ortiz-Santana feud now, finally. We get a video package of Hangman Page versus the Swerve Strickland and the Page Young Bucks versus the Mogul Embassy for the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles. And here's what, okay, so now we're getting into the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team title match. The Hung Bucks in this case, or the Elite, as they came out to Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas, a great 70s song. And we had Hangman with the Young Bucks to take on Mogul Embassy. The Embassy with Prince Nana is defending. It's a brawl to start with. The Bucks and Gates going to the floor, leaving Page to hammer on Cage. The Bucks help take Cage down and Kuana, help out here, gentlemen. The name of the guys in the Gates of Agony.
On
Khan. Okay, it's a weird way to spell Khan for me. Then Kaun. So that'd be Khan. Okay. It's held on the apron for Page's running shooting star back in a 450 hits Cage, but Hughes Swerve Strickland to cut off the triple knee. Thankfully, this means Nana gets to dance as Page stares Swerve down. The distraction lets Gates toss Matt into a sit-out powerbomb with Page having to make the save. Page is sent hard into the corner, and we take a break. Back with Matt diving off the top rope to take out the Gates. The hot tag brings in Page to hammer on Cage. Page and Cage and Page and Cage and Cage and Page. Okay. Including a big boat. Cage gets 2 off a powerbomb. The champs all grab firearm carries. A F5 Samoan drop. White noise drops Page and the Bucks for 2 on Page, followed by the running shots in the corner. Middle rope splash powerbomb combination gets 2 on Page, with Nick managing to make the save. Page is back with the dead eye for 2 on Cage, so Strickland comes down for a closer look. The buckshot lariat misses, though, and Page is distracted by Swerve, allowing Cage to hit him with a Dixless lariat. The drill claw is loaded up, but Page reverses it into a roll up for the pin, and we get a 1, 2, 3, despite the fact that Cage's shoulders were never on the mat. The shoulder that was on the camera, on the hard camera, you can look right at it, go watch it anywhere you want to watch it, watch those shoulders, go watch my rant on it. I put the video in there. His shoulder was completely on Page's boots, pretty much from the 1 count. The referee was on the opposite side where he couldn't even see. I don't even know how he could see shoulders. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Let me tell you something. Do you want to know who the referee for this match was? Well, it was none other than Rick Knox, Mr. Double Botch of the Week. I mean, I don't know how he could be counting a pin when he couldn't see the shoulders
Give that
of the
man
guy.
his flowers.
And
Give
I
him
don't
his
know.
flowers.
I don't know what Tony Khan does with these camera guys. When you are looking at a camera and it's perfectly showing that the guy's shoulders is not pinned to the mat, it's bad TV. Now, granted, let me rewind this a little bit. And I said this in my rant. If this is all a setup to get their match back, to say they didn't pin the guy, good. And I hope that's the way it goes, because it's the only way it's going to make sense. And if you're not telling the story, make it make sense. Make it freaking make sense, Tony Khan. Because if you don't, you're going to look bad. And that's all I can tell you, because this was blatant. Like, I'm sorry. The only thing, it was like the announce team didn't say anything afterwards, so I don't know what's going to happen. If they play it right, if it was intentional, fine, cool. Let's have the rematch. It just looks really bad on camera. And again, it's Mike Knox. So, I mean, this is the second time in a week that you've had Mike Knox look bad on camera with bad calls. So, I mean, it was kind of a bad idea. If this was a setup, I would have probably put another referee in there just so Mike Knox, or not Mike Knox, Rick Knox wouldn't take that much heat. But this is just it's an insane call. He was behind Adam Page, counting the 3, so he couldn't even see the shoulders. I don't know where he was seeing shoulders to be pinned anyways. There was no way he could see what he was counting for. And then the camera is right up in there showing Brian Cage's shoulders off the mat. I mean, it was plain as day.
Right.
So I expect this to play in the storyline, whether this is intentional or unintentional. I expect it to play in storyline, because you got to make it make sense. And when it's that bad and that blatant, I'm sorry, we have to call it out.
You do remember back in the day when that would happen, the announcers would catch it and would talk about it all night. You didn't hear a peep out of any of them.
No, there is no wrestling commentators that I'm hearing out here that have came out and called that stuff. Nobody has came out and called that. Nobody's called out Tony Khan. Nobody's called out.
There used to always be that one announcer saying, "Hey, his shoulders weren't down. His shoulders weren't down." They would argue it all night.
Yeah,
and nothing.
That's why I have a hard feeling buying this is not, like, I don't think this was planned out. I think this was a botch. because nobody played on it. And I'm like, they completely ignored it. And I'm just like, that doesn't make sense. If it was intentional, like if this is the way the match was supposed to end without his shoulders being on the match, they would have said something like, hey, wait a minute, it didn't look like his shoulders on the match. Somebody would have picked up on that as a commentator to make it make sense or sell that storyline going forward, not just blatantly. Now, granted, it still could be all a setup. I could be getting, drug into something that was all set up, but what I'm assuming is they're probably gonna have to go back and fix the story because that was too blatant. I mean, his shoulder was, you could put two hands under Brian Cage's shoulders and he still wouldn't be, it was bad.
Like I said, he was like this. He was doing the counting.
He was behind Page. So I don't know where he saw any shoulders down to even make a count and be like, oh, So
I think he's down. Was he down, George? I think he was.
It makes Rick Knox look bad, and he's already looked bad from. I mean, and again, if we really want to discuss it, that's twice in one night, literally, because Rampage is recorded on the same night as Dynamite. So that's two botches by Rick Knox on the same night. So that even makes it really, really worse if you really break it down. And no, I don't want to sit here and point out this stuff, but you know what? I have to call it. That's what we do. That's what we do here. We're going to tell you like we
kind of have to. If we wouldn't be doing our due diligence if we didn't call it.
No, we'd be playing into the narrative, and we're not here to. We love AEW, we love WWE, we love Ring of Honor, we love sometimes Impact when they do things. We love New Japan Pro Wrestling. We are lovers of professional wrestling. We love when it's good, when it has the storytelling. If you make it make sense, we're good. As long as you don't break the kayfabe, as long as you don't break the moment of time where we invested and break us away from it by doing something like this. Like if we're invested in a match and then you do something like this, it's totally botched and we can see it so blatantly, then you've broken we're out of it, and then it's just like, okay, this turned bad real quick, and that's what we're saying. Love professional wrestling, but don't this was bad. Gentlemen, any follow-up comments on Rampage? Since Justin Roberts also likes to go,
I'm looking.
Phoenix. I'm just like, okay, dude, I get you can roll your R's. A lot of people can, but she ain't. Anyway.
I'm looking forward to next week and week after next when they come out here just to see where this goes.
Yeah, when you got to spend $50, $60, $70, $100 to go to an arena in Stockton,
I didn't pay
California.
a dime. We already talked about this.
I'm just complaining because I just think it's ridiculous. It's Stockton, California, and you're charging $100 for a seat, and that's not even really good seats. You want to talk about some of the hard camera nice seats, you're talking $200, $300, $400, up to $600, $700 for ringside hard camera side seats in Stockton, California. And it's not anything bad about Stockton, California. It's just that's not the it's just not the fine. I mean, it's not the Bay Area. It just doesn't have the money like that. Yeah. And it's a Stockton arena. It's not even the Golden One Center in Sacramento. I mean, it's not, it's where a G League basketball team plays. So I mean, it's not this top of the line. Stockton is not, it's a beautiful place. You can live there. There's a lot of great things about Stockton. Yes, you're going to hear a lot of bad things about Stockton if you search the internet. It's out there. Granted, it is what it is. But this is not a place that has a whole lot of money. So it's like, I don't know. You're going to get a lot of people from out of the area coming in. So,
like I said, we'll see how that crowd looks when I go. I'm hoping for a great night. Let's just leave it at that.
Did you want to add 2 cents? You looked like you had something to say there, Paul.
And I've lost it since.
Huh?
He's thinking about something. On the breaking, man.
Oh, well, I was talking about Stockton. It looked like I said something, but I didn't know.
Oh, no, it wasn't Stockton specifically. It was about the prices in Stockton.
Yeah.
Those are what I call SMD prices. And if you don't know what that means, it means suck my prices.
Yeah. No. I know I did. I know Paulus did. We grew up in Stockton, so we know Stockton pretty darn well. And it's just there's not that clientele, I guess you would say, for that. And it's just
Unless you're in the Brookside area, maybe, but I don't think there's that many wrestling fans there.
No, that's a small island in a big city. Sorry.
Mhm.
It doesn't make sense. It's just I don't know. And it's AEW, and I feel like they're still new, and it's just like you're asking kind of ridiculous prices. But
Can you imagine if they were running this at the Civic or AG Spano Center
Oh,
and asking for
jeez.
those prices?
jeez, well, I remember I've been to the Civic Center
Mhm.
in Stockton, California, and watched Monday Night Raw.
Yep.
Been there many times. I've watched at UOP. I watched non-televised and televised events at the UOP Center
Mhm.
there. I guess that's the Spano Center, ain't it?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So I
Two
mean,
venues we grew up at.
yeah. No, I mean that's a we could go anyways. We won't get into Stockton because we could tell stories for days. I mean,
Oh yeah. All right.
I can tell you every end of that city because I've walked every end of that city. Sadly and not sadly, but you know, when you needed to get somewhere, as fellow people know, we got where we got when we needed to get there. However, we needed to get there. So, if it was 2 feet, we walked them 2 feet, and we walked them miles, and we walked every one of them back.
That's for another podcast.
No doubt, no doubt. There are stories to be told in a different platform, on a different channel, on a different day, because this is
If
all
anyone
about
ever wants to
wrestling.
know, they know where to reach us, and we'll tell them all they want.
I guess I got to go back to something since we got here real quick. Let's just go back here one more time. Yes. Anyways, let's wrap up this last show so we can get to the ending and wrap up everything else, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, let's talk about Collision. Collision was in Grand Rapids, Michigan at the Van Andel Arena. We had Nigel McGuinness and Kevin Kelly on commentary. We got great pre-show promos from Christian Cage, Darby Allin, Ricky Starks, Brian Danielson about their matches tonight. Opening match, the TNT Championship is on the line in a triple threat match. Darby Allin versus Christian Cage versus Luchasaurus. Darby Allin going into this match knowing this is going to be a handicap match in a way. And when you heard that this was going to be a triple threat match, did any of you think this could get interesting because it's a triple threat match with Luchasaurus and Christian Cage? Luchasaurus and Cage make their way out together. This one sure looks like it'll be more of a handicap match for Allin. Cage heads outside as this one begins. Test of strength, but Darby throws powder in the face of Luchasaurus and dives to the outside onto Cage. That was awesome. Code Red inside the ring gets a 2 for Darby. Suicide dive to Luchasaurus. This is wild already. Cage gets him from behind and whiplashes him over the ropes to the floor, and Luchasaurus capitalizes, running him into the barricade. Cage sits Darby on a chair and drapes him neck first over the ropes before standing on his back for leverage. Huge German suplex on Darby with the chair from Luchasaurus. Cage goes for the cover, gets a 2 count, and Luchasaurus briefly doesn't look too happy with that. Cage and Luchasaurus double team Darby on the outside, sending him into the steel steps, and Darby goes head over heels as we go to a commercial break. In the beautiful picture-in-picture. I don't know why they ever decided that we needed to go picture-in-picture in wrestling. It's like, I can't hear the commentary and I can't see it on the big picture, and there's some commercial telling me, go buy this fabric softener. I'm kind of out of the match because I'm like, yeah, just give me the commercials, get it over with, and get back to the match. Picture-in-picture to me is just, it drives me nuts because I'm trying to watch the match and there's somebody over here going, you need to buy car insurance. No, I don't. I got car insurance. It's great. Tell me more. Anyways.
Luna is permanent product.
Tell me less. You know what? Say that again, and I'll give you one of these. Oh, that one did. Anyways, after that,
you can also go yourself.
Cage. Okay, so Cage continues the assault on the outside, driving a chair down into the midsection of Allin. Back in the ring, a back elbow from Luchasaurus takes Darby down. He holds Darby back, allowing Christian to fire off shots to the midsection. Darby is whipped into the turnbuckles. Luchasaurus follows up, but Darby dodges Christian to roll up for 2 from Darby. Reverse DDT from Darby on Cage. Coffin drop attempt, but Luchasaurus drags Cage outside, so Darby nails it on both men to the outside. Back inside, Darby dives off the top rope. Lucha catches him with a choke slam attempt, reversed into a stun gun. Cage has the TNT title but misses a belt shot. Darby with a dropkick. STO by Luchasaurus takes Darby out again. Luchasaurus sees the belt on the mat and grabs it. Christian comes in and tries to tug it away, but Luchasaurus pulls it back and then eventually hands it over to Christian Cage. Cage implores him to give it to him. Eventually he does. Darby knocks both men into each other. Cover on Luchasaurus for 1, 2, no. PK to Luchasaurus, coffin drop. Cage throws him outside through. Cage grabs Darby, throws him out of the ring. Cage pinch Luchasaurus for the 1, 2, 3, and we have a new TNT champion in Christian Cage officially. So not only is he wearing the belt, he is actually the champion. Luchasaurus. Post-match, Luchasaurus allows Cage to hug him, but doesn't hug him back. Cage celebrates, and Luchasaurus looks dejected, but gets Christian on his shoulders with the tease. Both men leave together. This was odd. I don't know. It's odd. I guess they don't have Section Hardcastle signs, so they can't, finish off Christian yet. But I don't know how Christian winning and then Luchasaurus turning on Christian. How are you going to really keep Christian? I don't know how you're going to turn Christian babyface in this. You're going to turn Luchasaurus more babyface. No matter what Luchasaurus does to Christian Cage, because Christian Cage just screwed him out of his title. So, I don't know.
Yep.
I still don't know if Adam Copeland is going to go to AEW. He's a free agent. I think if he was going to make moves, we'd probably know a little more. It just doesn't seem it, even though everybody out there is telling you it is. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, you can go out here and read the internet. You can believe what you want. You can be a mark. Just don't be an 100% mark. But you can go out here and read all this stuff.
Right back. Give me 1 second. I gotta check something out real quick.
And enjoy these moments. But don't take everything. Take everything with a grain of salt. Just because people are saying, "Oh, he's going AEW. He's AEW bound." Until you have facts, until we have things. Yeah, we will say Adam Copeland. Damn it. Adam Copeland, Edge may go to AEW. There's a good chance. Can't never say never. It might happen. There's an opportunity there. I don't think it's going to be a huge game changer, but I'm telling you, if he goes, great. If he doesn't, I won't be surprised.
Yeah, and either way,
it is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's as big of a deal as they're trying to make it out to be. And I can't believe so many people are just like, oh, he's going there. We're going to get. Not only that, I've heard people saying we're going to get Adam Edge Copeland as his name, and I'm just like, that's not going to happen. Sorry.
Wouldn't that be owned by WWE anyways?
At least the Edge name. I don't know how.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't think they're going to do that. So, anyways, moving on.
I mean, they could try to get away with saying the Edge, I suppose, but
it's a play on words, and but they can't. The mannerisms are also the thing, because that's what WWE sued WCW over. At least tried or was suing them over Scott Hall and Kevin Nash appearing on TV as if they were still Razor Ramon and Diesel. So, him going over there and still portraying any mannerisms or acting like Edge would be very, very fine line to walk there. So, Alex Marvez is with Don Callis, Sammy Guevara, and Takeshita. Callis feels sick thinking about Jericho and Omega being on the same side. They're name dropping Ibushi, but they know Ibushi's weak spot, Kenny Omega. Callis isn't worried about the match at Wrestle Dream. Callis has another family member who will join the fray. We're going to get the future member of WWE, Will Ospreay. No reaction. Can you hear me now?
No, I don't. Please don't. Now is not the time to do this mess. This is messed up. You guys just want to get me going again? Just
Will Ospreay, WWE confirmed. Yes, it's going to happen. No, anyways, there's no truth in that, ladies.
I'm gonna have what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have a heart attack on air the day we're gonna be live when it actually does happen, and you'll literally see me drop to the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, there's no factual. There's interest that WWE has in Will Ospreay. There's been some talk, but Will Ospreay and WWE, I don't think anything's going to happen there. Just so we're reporting true facts. But yeah, our boy
after
there,
we're done with this show, you can go onto the YouTube channel, and there's an article someone wrote that talks about a fantasy booking for Will Ospreay and WWE.
two things on that note. Don't go 100% Mark. And Miguel and Jane. There's a story brewing there, is there?
No,
We'll
somebody
find
can
out.
tell
Go watch
about
that.
I'm
Go watch
happily
that.
married
Go watch that podcast
man.
and learn more. And while you're doing that, you know what you could do that's wonderful, awesome, and amazing? You can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell for notifications so whenever we are live or whenever new programming comes up, because we're always putting out new content, because there's always wrestling news breaking, and there's always some of our other people putting stuff together and putting it out there for you. So make sure you hit that bell for notifications.
Take the hammer and ring the bell, please.
Like always, make sure you like and comment. We love your comments. We love what you say. You can't tell us. You can't say anything that we're going to look at as wrong. Your opinion.
Everything gets read.
Oh, everything does get read, and we value your opinion. The value of wrestling is not just us here. It is also you. You are bigger, just the biggest part of making value of wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting. And making this happen. So without you, and we know that every night we sit here and every day we do this stuff, we know that we are not anymore without you guys, our fans, and the people that are helping us grow. And we need you, and we need your help and support. So we want you to subscribe, help us grow, help us become a dominating force, because you're going to be a part of that. We'll definitely do that in the future. You never know. We may do a comment reading on air with all three of us. So, we can do a break it down. Discussing comments,
come on, folks,
reacting to them. So
be hardcore like our buddy Paul over there.
Yes, our
Nobody's
very own
hardcore like
version
him.
of Tommy Dreamer right here at the Value of Wrestling. Believe that. Anyways, we're more than welcome, and if you know people who love professional wrestling, make sure you share this out with them so they can join us. We are on the ground floor of this, and you're joining us on this ground floor. So you're going to be on one heck of a ride as we grow and expand, and we are ready for the future, and we want you to be part of that. But Collision, right? So we're going to have Ibushi, Omega, Jericho versus Takeshita, Guevara, and Ospreay in Seattle. That'll be a good 6-man tag. I don't know how you're going to keep all those men contained in a ring, and this has got to be a tornado 6-man tag. You might as well just throw the rule book out and let them all go at it.
This is what you might call chaos is art.
Yep. And Tony Schiavone is with the new TNT champion, Christian Cage. Cage says he is now the undisputed TNT champion. He dedicates the victory to the dead dads out there. And Schiavone announces that Cage's first defense will be in Seattle at Wrestle Dreams, because a Wrestle Dream match would totally be Christian Cage versus Darby Allin in a 2 out of 3 falls. I don't know if this is a match for this one, but hey,
Hey, real quick, because we bring up the jokes about Will Ospreay. Tonight, in about 15 minutes, New Japan Pro Wrestling will be going live. The main event will be our current IWGP US or UK heavyweight champ. Will Ospreay is defending it against Yota Tsuji. That'll be a great match that I'll be covering and posting results on the Rebound tomorrow morning.
And where can that Rebound be found?
On Spotify, folks. That's where you can find me.
So, what he's telling you, ladies and gentlemen, is the Value of Wrestling is not just right here on YouTube, but over on Spotify. You can find the Value of Wrestling with the New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound, hosted by the one, the only Miguel Z. So make sure you're jumping over there on Spotify, checking him out and everything he has to tell you. He's going to teach you all about New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's going to break it all down nice and beautiful for you so you can become a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I can get that out. But yes, make sure you're jumping over there. We're not just a YouTube thing. We are over there on Spotify, and you never know.
Well, you talk about you have multi-screens all over the place. I actually do have a countdown screen right over here, and my tablet over here.
Well, I've got 2 computer screens, and I got my tablet, and I check my phone, so I got many things. Of course, I'm working on many different things at the same time.
It just died, so.
Oh.
Of course it did.
Oh, how sad, how
AT&T, folks.
Damn.
Of course, the question now is, why did it die? Who was responsible for its death?
My wife, my kids.
Ooh. Mm.
It's why you fail.
Let
We're
me
gonna have to
play
check
Angry
on-
Birds.
We're gonna have to check on Miguel sometime tomorrow. Make sure he's still alive after throwing his wife under the bus.
That's why I just said this is why you fail. Here's one more
You
for you.
must unlearn what you have learned.
Oh. And just for the heck of it, let's do it one more time. Oh. The value of wrestling, ladies and
We're
gentlemen,
gonna-
right here on YouTube, where we have fun, we enjoy what we do.
Is there any chance that we can get that music to Tony Khan and have him use it for Daniel Garcia? I will be a huge supporter of that man if he was dancing to that. Yeah.
We lost the Paul. Okay. Oh boy. Anyways, where were we? Oh, we're back to live. No, we covered that. We know the 2 out of 3 falls. So at Wrestle Dreams, we've now added Christian Cage versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Ladies and gentlemen, the match of the night, the match everybody's talking about. It's the debut match of Rod Van Dam on Collision, and he's teaming up with Hook to take on Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. Jake Hager and Anna Jay out there with him, and I don't know, Rod Van Dam looked like somebody's dad cheering him on the apron. I don't know. He actually looked a little bit on the high side, if I say so. I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Menard starts off against Hook and receives a judo throw from the off. Menard starts off against Hook and receives a judo throw from the off. This is how this was written. Okay. Takedown by Hook and a hip toss. Menard tags in Cool Hands. Anna Jay causes a distraction, allowing Cool Hands to get some cheap shots in and tag Matt back in. Hook avoids a double team tag and avoids a double team tags in RVD. Arm drag by RVD, cut off by Cool Hands, cuts him off. Leg takedown for 2, and a wheel kick takes down Cool Hands. Springboard kick to Cool Hands, who is forced outside to regroup. We go back to a beautiful picture-in-picture, because why not? What's just a picture? Cool Hand and Matt Menard psych themselves up on the floor. Menard back in, and RVD tags and Hook. Matt throws Hook into a knee from Cool Hands and lays in some knees on the mat. He distracts the ref, allowing Cool Hands and Jake to get more cheap shots in. Cool Hand takes over in the ring now, steps up, kick, gets a 2 count, tag to Matt. Hook battles back with a chop, though. Headlock from Matt to the ground. Hook. Then another quick tag to Parker. Hook avoids another double team, tossing both guys to the outside. He dives for a tag to RVD, but Parker intercepts. No exploder suplex by Hook. No exploder suplex by Hook. Both men are down. Hook crawls. Tags in. Tag is made. RVD in for the house on fire. In for the house of fire. Wheel kick to Matt. Rolling thunder to Parker. Menard breaks up the pin, though. Another signature wheel kick from RVD. Jake Hager in with a chair, but receives a Van Daminator. Hook with the Red Realm. RVD with a 5-star fog splash on Matt Menard to pick up the pinfall at 8 minutes, 22 seconds. Good little match. RVD looked kind of awkward out there. I don't know. It just looked weird to me. He did look like the guy. He looked more like a dad or an uncle. Like, hey, I don't know. They kept RVD's time in there short and, highlighted what RVD's good at. So it's a little better than this previous match. Recap of Eddie Kingston becoming a double champion. 2 belts Kingston. Yes, think about that for a minute. 2 belts Kingston.
What?
This past Wednesday, promo time. Eddie knows he has to defend these championships. Wrestle Dream is all about respecting Inoki, and the best way to do that is put both championships on the line next week against Shibata. So we are getting Shibata versus Eddie Kingston for both belts.
The wrestler himself, Katsuyori Shibata. That is going to be a great match.
So I'm confused though, but they said next week. Is this going to be at Wrestle Dreams or is this going to be next week's Collision?
I'm assuming Wrestle Dreams because that's what I was looking at, but I don't want to. I'll look into it and I'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure
the way it's worded, I'm assuming since he said it's about Wrestle Dreams and respecting Inoki, that he wants to face Shibata, but
Yeah.
it says here next week, so it's a little weird. Dark Order
Next
tells us
Saturday.
we need structure, we need rules, and we need order. We need the Dark Order because the Dark Order is good, and they're here for us. I mean, there's not enough room on this camera anymore. Here we go. Dark Order. Oh, you fell behind there, sir.
I'm sorry. I told you I was in the middle of something.
You sold out. You sold out. All right.
Johnny Hungee. He entertains me.
Matt Damon tells us the neck health is important. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is Neck Health Awareness Month. Take care of your neck because neck health is important. And taking care of your neck is important unless you're Rick Knox and he doesn't know when to take care of people's necks or heads. But we won't get into that, will we? What? Oh. So Bennett and Taven will be dishing out power drivers in support of neck health month awareness next week when they face the best friends.
With Neck Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it's Neck Health Awareness Month, didn't you know? Make sure you're taking care of your neck. Anyways, then we get Kira Hogan versus Julia Hart, and we get another beautiful entrance where Julia Hart just looks, yeah. She has won 25 matches in a row now. Hogan jumps Hart at the bell. Hip attack against her up. Hart with a hair pull takedown, stands on the hair and yanks her up. Stomps on Kira and a nice vertical suplex before Hart gets on top with a vicious right hand. Hogan tries to battle back, gets a roundhouse kick, but Hart knocks her down and gets a moonsault for 2 in retaliation. Forearm takedowns by Hogan. Running dropkick in the corner goes for a possible hip attack, but Hart moves, sending Hogan into the turnbuckle. Back elbow, snapmare takeover. Kick to the back, followed by a sliding clothesline. The house always wins. Julia Hart makes Hogan tap out. That's 3 minutes, 34 seconds, and that's Kira Hogan, just in case anybody's confused. Julia Hart with a number 26 win in a row. Post-match, Hart locks the submission in again, but here comes Sky Blue. Oh, but Brody King stands in her way. Julia steps in front and spits the black poison into Blue's face. Brody King on the mic says this violence will not end. It will not end until they get to the last one, Chris Statlander. Next Sunday, Wrestle Dreams, they want Statlander to put her title on the line. Otherwise, the body count will continue to rise. So Wrestle Dreams, Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart. Julia Hart on a 26-match winning streak. Julia Hart looking impressive. What will happen? We will talk about that momentarily. We get our latest vignette for the Righteous. They are pure and they are driven. They will crawl out to expose MJF and Adam Cole and purify the lies that they're better than you, Bay. The Righteous. If the Righteous would have only had the moment and the ability, if the WWE could only have seen it and brought them together to be with Bray Wyatt still would have been around, man. That would have been great stuff. And now it is time for one of the big matches of the night. I thought this was supposed to be, but okay. Anyways, we have Jay White with Bullet Club Gold versus Andrade El Idolo. Andrade getting some more TV time, which is awesome. We need to get more. Andrade backs Jay into the corner to begin, but Jay gets a cheeky slap, which riles up Andrade. I don't know why we'd ever just call him Idolo. It needs to be Andrade. Headlock, well, they call him, which riles up Idolo. It's just hard to pronounce when you're not saying Andrade El Idolo. Andrade.
Yeah.
Headlock applied in the center of the ring. Jay sends him to the rope. Shoulder blocked by Andrade. Distraction from Juice allows Jay to get a headlock of his own. Side headlock takeover gives control to White. On the outside, Andrade scores a huge chop to the chest and rolls Jay back in. Crossbody off the top, but rolls through. Suplex 3 amigos. No, Jay drops behind on the third attempt. Jay hops to the middle rope, but Andrade drop kicks him to the floor. DDT from White when they get back in the ring, which gets a 2 count. Andrade gets knocked off the apron to the outside, and the Bang Bang Gang's reaction is priceless. Both men back inside the ring. Jay rakes the eyes while choking over the ropes until the referee interrupts. Dragon screw leg whip to Andrade, and Jay White keeps targeting the leg. Suplex into the turnbuckle, hard landing here. White goes for the pin. 1, 2, and no. Andrade battles out of a headlock, but Jay goes back to the leg and then delivers chops to the chest. Andrade calls for more. Double clothesline takes both men down back to their feet. They trade hard chops until Jay goes for a kick. and receives a dragon screw as a receipt. Flying forearm from Andrade. Kip up. Jay is perched in the corner against the ropes. Andrade goes for the double knees, but Bullet Club Gold pulls Jay out, but Andrade is not deterred, jumping to the top rope for a huge moonsault to the outside. Another moonsault back in the ring, nails the Ibushi deal of landing on his feet and hitting the second moonsault. Dragon suplex attempt by Andrade, no. Sleeper suplex attempted by Jay, no. Oh God, Jay just jumped Andrade on the floor with a Sayato suplex over the ropes. Damn. Uranagi back in the ring, 1-2, no. Jay gets him up. Hyper extends the knee of Andrade, but Jay has a bad knee too. Back elbow from Andrade. Jay might be out, but just rolls the shoulders up at the last split second. Double knees to Jay in the corner, arm ringing DDT gets 1, 2, but Juice puts the foot on the ropes. Andrade sets up for the figure 4, gets it figure 8, but Juice in to smack Andrade with a clipboard while the rest of the beats the Bang Bang Club, the Bullet Club Gold. Distract the referee. Jay struggles to his feet and gets a Blade Runner for the 1, 2, 3. Jay White picks up the victory, though it was tainted at 16 minutes, 29 seconds. Ortiz says Santana used him at All In like he used him his entire career.
I just going back to Andrade just for a second. When he, that little fist pose he does.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time he does that, I'm still waiting for Zelina Vega to do it right behind him, or right with him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how Tommy would feel about that.
It feels so weird seeing him do it by himself.
It's weird.
Anyways, Ortiz says Santana used him at All In, like he used him all his entire career. He says Santana ran from his problems like he always does, but he won't be able to run much longer. Ominous words from Ortiz. Shane Taylor talks up they're pretty boy killers, but says this is his time. The only thing in his way is Keith Lee. First, Lee will have to step in the ring with Lee Moriarty. Aussie Open makes an appearance, and damn, they are shooted and booted looking swanky. They are here to provide commentary for the tag team match. The AEW Tag Team Champions, FTR, will take on the Workhorsemen, JD Drake and Anthony Henry. Wheeler takes on Henry to begin. They grapple on the mat until Henry gets the upper hand. More grappling until Henry gets a nice dropkick on Cash. Tags in Drake. Wheeler tags in Dax. They trade shoulder blocks. Yikes. Massive chops from both guys. These guys atomic drop and a scoop slam from Drake before tagging in Henry. Quick tags from the challenger, and Drake springboards into the ring on Dax. Henry in with kicks on Dax now. Kick and chop battle between these guys until Dax nails a brainbuster out of nowhere. Drake in, takes out Wheeler on the apron and gets a shining wizard on Dax, followed by a cannonball in the corner. Tope Kano Hilo to the outside from Henry, and a swanton from Drake on Dax. 1, 2, and no. Everyone bought that holy shit chance for good reason. Dax gets the sharpshooter out of nowhere, and Drake has to tap out at 4 minutes and 40 seconds. And your winners, and still AEW Tag Team Champions, FTR.
As if there was any doubt that was going to happen.
Aussie Open enters the ring after the match to let FTR know they're in for the fight of their lives next week. Aussie Open are the best tag team in the world today. They've heard the complaints. What happened to They've heard the complaints. What happened to Aussie Open that took FTR to the limits in a 5-star classic? Aussie Open will prove to everyone, to themselves, that they are everything they say they are. Dax takes the mics. He is begging. They want the biggest, baddest tag team to face them next week because FTR are the best damn team in history. If you can't bring that, don't even bother showing up. Top guys out. Lexi Nair talking to CJ Perry backstage in an awkward, I don't know what they're going to do here. Anyway, CJ says Miro has lost his way and she just wants to help him become champion again, but he is distracted by temptation. Miro appears and says his temptation is her. Her temptation is this. The lights, the fame, it's changed her. CJ's temptation might be something else. I don't know. CJ likes chasing gold for the people she loves. It makes her feel alive. She's got to do what she's got to do. If there's any love for her, please don't lay a hand on any of her future clients. He doesn't promise anything and walks out. So I guess we're going to get Perry getting her own clients. Hopefully it's not Powerhouse Hobbs because that might just stir controversy.
Patterns.
Lashley, sorry.
Temptations, and we're not talking about the band, but they might also be tempting to her too, but we won't go there. Anyways, Andrade versus Juice Robinson is signed for next week on Collision. Another banger in the making. All right. And now it is time for the main event of the evening. Let's get ready to rumble! In a Texas death match, Bryan Danielson versus Absolute Ricky Starks. Starks jumps the gun, attacking while Dragon makes his entrance, but just as he was getting in the ring, Starks climbs the buckle for the 10-count punch, but Dragon tosses him over the top, and a running suicide dive. The battle into the crowd. Danielson dumping trash on Starks as they fight up the steps. Yes kicks to Starks while he's down on the steps. Starks gets up on the barricade and tries to walk it, jumps off, but Danielson meets him with more kicks. They fight back through the crowd to the ringside area until Starks throws Danielson into the front row. Oh, Starks takes a page out of old school Danielson playbook with a springboard crossbody from the ring over the barricade into the audience. They battle by the announce taper headbutt to Starks, and again, Danielson rolls him back in the ring, wraps up the legs, and goes for the surfboard. He grabs Starks by the nose and rears back before taking the arms for the surfboard proper. Picture perfect. Danielson goes outside after Starks, but out of nowhere, Starks has grabbed the rebound and absolutely smacks Danielson with it twice. Starks takes the mic. He's putting this 6 feet under. Starks bounces Danielson's head off the announce table repeatedly, and Danielson is busted open above the eye. Bryan back in the ring, but Starks crotches him around the ring post. Chair shot to the knee, back inside. Starks drives the edge of the chair into the midsection. Looks like he's going to Pillmanize Danielson.
Mm-hmm.
God, haven't had Brian Pillman's name came up in anything in a long time. Or that Pillmanizing. Anyways, Danielson is up. Repeated chair shots to the shoulder of Ricky Starks. Danielson joins him up top. Superplex. No, Dragon slips. Starks bites him in the head. Spider suplex from Danielson. He stays on the top rope, then hits a missile drop kick. Yes, kicks again and again and again. Big roundhouse takes Starks down. Danielson is in the opposite corner. Went for the Busuki knee. But Starks tosses a chair directly at him. Stomp to the head of Danielson. Starks rides Danielson like a donkey and nails a jumping knee. Starks goes shopping on the outside, searching under the ring for the same strap for their all-out match. Soaked in blood, he whips Danielson and then wraps it around his neck, taking him to the canvas on the outside. Danielson turns things around, running Starks headfirst into the ring post. Starks has a hold of a chair. He wraps it around his fist and smashes Danielson in the face with it. Goes for another shot, but Danielson ducks, gets a roundhouse kick. They trade chops, but Starks gets the upper hand with a flurry of slaps. Spear by Starks. Spear by Starks. Or should we say, gore. Now with the chain around the neck, he begins to choke out Danielson. Danielson is fading. This is a role reversal from the finish at All Out. Picture perfect. Starks relents as Audrey Edwards begins to count. She gets an 8, but Danielson is up. Starks beats him immediately and wraps the chains around his neck again, hanging him over his back. Danielson escapes in the corner, though. Spear attempt, but holy shit, Danielson takes the arm on the way past into the label lock. He wraps the chain around the throat and carries on. Just like in the strap match, Stark is fading, but he gets strength out of nowhere and fires up again. They roll around, trading huge clubbing blows. On their knees, they trade headbutts. Stark goes for a chair shot, misses Danielson with a Busaki knee into the chair.
I think it's pronounced Busaico knee.
Knee into the chair. Danielson yells, and Stark is gonna get his fucking head kicked in. He stops Starks and head into the chair. Starks spits at him, and Danielson continues to stolt Starks up. He's bleeding big time from the mouth. Danielson wraps around the chain around his knee. Starks is almost waiting for it helplessly. The Busaki knee with the chain to a kneeling Starks. Audrey makes the count. Starks is out, and we get a 10 count at 20 minutes, 4 seconds. Bryan Danielson is your winner. End of the match. Big Bill and Will Uter out attending to the respective men after the match. Starks struggles to his feet as we fade to the end of the broadcast. And that was your Collision. Any comments, any statements, anything you want to add to a very good night of Collision, gentlemen?
That was about as solid as I could see it going. Complaints.
Absolutely no complaints.
Yeah. Good match.
Just
Good
waiting
show.
to see what they do for Wrestle Dream.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gentlemen, for our hardcore members, this is the value of wrestling. We have covered your weekly roundup with all those reports. Now we're just going to break down stuff, talk about any news reports or anything else we kind of want to talk about here as we close out another great episode. Episode number 9. 9 episodes of the weekly roundup. So we are getting somewhere, and we are continuing to develop and grow. And we like each and every one of your support, and we thank you for subscribing, sharing, liking, commenting, being a part of the Value Wrestling community. And, okay, Mr. No Face over here. Will you come back
Which one?
now? There we go. He came back on a snap. You.
Oh, snap. My bad.
You keep disappearing. It's okay. We call it, we'll blame it all on AT&T.
No. Yeah, there you go. That'll work.
AT&T's always felt a little... If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What? No,
No.
AOL dial-up?
Oh, I don't have that on here anymore. I took that off.
Man,
Anyways.
It just showed.
So, what do you want to talk about, gentlemen?
Thank you, Cody Rhodes.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Let's see.
Oh no, I got nothing on that one. A good one.
Well,
Here's a
let's
question
see.
for you.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at a headline on 411 Mania that says Baron Corbin unwanting to try out for the Ultimate Fighter before going to WWE. So my question is, could you imagine Baron Corbin in any kind of mixed martial arts?
Well, if you go back to before he joined WWE with the look and coming out of the way he is, maybe. If you take him now and do that, no. But previously, maybe. When he looked more
despite
serious.
the fact he was some kind of Golden Gloves.
Yeah, he was Golden Gloves,
Yeah.
football player. I think he could have hung if he would have trained and gone that way. I think the only thing is his image, as we've seen it, is what we've seen him through the WWE. If he would have gone that way and become an Ultimate Fighter, would we not have looked at him in a different way based on what he would have done there? I think it's kind of hard to look at him and buy it now because we've seen what he's become, and it's it's a little different. So, let's see, wrestling reports. We've talked about okay, we got the Rick Knox mess. I mean, what do you do with Rick Knox? A lot of people say he should be fired. A lot of people say there should be some type of repercussions for just the negligence. And is AEW a safe place to work? I mean, that's a big question. Is some of the moves that are being allowed to happen in AEW not being looked at in a way that is this safe? Is this going to be safe? Because we do see. Yes, people get hurt in WWE. WWE has points where a lot of people have been hurt at certain times, but it seems like in AEW, people are constantly getting hurt. Sometimes some of the same people are constantly getting hurt. Some of these people are always wanting to bleed, which I think is, there's a place for blood and there's a place that doesn't need to always have blood. Like, I don't need to see Moxley bleed every week on TV. It's like, it loses the meaning. It loses the factor to what blood in wrestling means, at least to me, because I look at it as, when somebody bleeds, it's, the match has some meaning. It's important. It's a little more in depth. But when you see somebody like Moxley bleeding every week, you're just kind of like, okay, we're just out for blood sport and think we look cool. And it really just kind of loses some of the shine for me with Moxley.
Yeah.
The floor is yours. Or not yours.
What?
You're cutting in and out, so that's why I'm like, I don't know.
¿Cómo? ¿Qué? What's going on?
If you said anything, none of it came through. What? Yeah, exactly.
Can you hear me now?
Sort of.
Yes. Oh, dang.
He doesn't need to bleed every week. You sneeze and he's leaking.
Ain't that the damn truth? Sad. I mean, I think Tony Khan's really got to look at the big thing. I get trying to be different. I get trying to let a lot of these guys, and I think this is where Tony Khan hurts himself. He wants to be the booker, but I think he lets everybody do what they want. Like, I don't, you're booking it, and you're putting your guys out there, but then when they go out there and book, you book the story or book the guys in a match, but I don't think he follows through. It's like, okay, you two are going to go fight each other, go out in the ring and do whatever you want to do, and then these two wrestlers come together and go, oh, let's do this. And then somebody gets hurt. I mean, heck, we had just this week, Moxley's down with a minor concussion out, and Adam Cole's now hurt with a leg again. So, I mean, it's like, what do you do differently to protect your? I mean, these are all commodities basically to Tony Khan. He needs them all in good health to make money because people are saying to see these people, and if they're constantly injured, it's not helping the big picture. And at some point, you have to look at it and go, who is held responsible? Is it not the fact that the ref should intervene
really
when a
should
wrestler's knocked
happen-
themselves stupid, and go, hey, you're not all there. Let's take a break and see, where you're functioning at. No, you're still not with us.
Can you hear me?
Yes, at the moment.
Am I there?
You're here now.
I was saying should have happened with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. Finger poke of doom. Nobody would
hell.
have gotten hurt.
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Value of Wrestling. We thank you for joining us. Because on that note, we just, oh my Jesus, wait.
I killed it. I'm so sorry.
I've heard of breathing with the switchblade, but come on now.
I don't even know. Maybe I should just. Wow, you just said that, and I'm just like,
It's late. And I still gotta
it's
watch.
late. Excuses. You know what?
Shut your mouth, you thong wearing fatty.
You see, right here, I still gotta watch one more show.
Well, you know what? This here is the world's tiniest violin. Hear that?
Oh, there's nothing playing, but I can't wait to see how this ends up.
You know what? How about you go get yourself a glass of
I'm
milk?
gonna drink a big glass of milk.
Well, if you want him to understand, maybe you need to speak Chinese for him.
Oh no!
Ding bong, ding dong, hits don't talk. I don't care. You come in my face, I'm gonna fight you.
That's a little offensive.
Were you offended by that? You know what? All I gotta say is.
Okay, real quick. If Will Ospreay loses that belt tonight, I'm not hopping on anything else for the rest of the weekend. Just so you know. Because then it's going to make all that speculation you guys are throwing around true.
Or do not. There is no try.
Anyways, well, we've talked about that. What about will Vince McMahon be lasting in WWE, or are we hearing the end of Vince McMahon with all this SEC filing, the fact that all his stocks are up for sale, $28.84 million, worth over $9 billion or $3 billion, I think it is.
Are they taking everything away from him? Like that's what they're doing? They're forcing him out the
don't.
door.
There's a federal investigation. I don't know where it's going, but in the SEC filing, they fully admitted, Endeavor fully admitted in the TK that Vince McMahon could be a liability. And so his stocks are up for sale. So, and there's a lot of people that are pushing to get him out of there. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's a real wait and see.
He needs a hero.
Oh, I know what we need to talk about. But go ahead if you have anything else to say on that. There's a big news that we're forgetting totally about.
Go ahead.
So, the big news, we did our breakdown on everybody that was released, and then right after I sat here and said, "Oh, I don't think there'll be anybody else released," and you're like, "Who's next?" And we sat here and talked. Well, we got hit with the one more. So somebody's watching our show. Maybe they just wanted to make me look like a fool. But no, ladies and gentlemen, the original bro has been released. The original bro is no more in the WWE. Matt Riddle has been endeavored. Not surprising, not shocking. I know a lot of people are confused. I know everybody's like, "Oh, he's gonna go AW and be like, yeah," and I'm like, no, he is not gonna happen there. I don't know. This is a lot of this. That it's basically Riddle. What wore out his welcome. I mean, he had the issue with Seth Rollins. He had the issue with the allegations. He had the 2 failed drug tests, went to rehab for alcohol and drug abuse, and now the scandal with the JFK airport, coming off the plane, intoxicated, having the police called on him, which is pretty serious. If you're that drunk on an airplane that they're calling the police to come meet you at the gate as you're getting off the plane, it had to be.
It's not just the local police, brother. It is the FBI, Homeland Security, that's getting you. Not
okay. But you got to differentiate. Homeland Security is not the FBI, and the Port Authority falls under Homeland Security. They are 2 different branches.
Well, you got 2 of those branches coming for you.
So
it ain't just one.
But I mean, the FBI is more focused on Vince McMahon than I think Matt Riddle at this moment. But the Port Authority met him at the gate, and then Matt Riddle accused one of the officers of taking advantage of him or sexual assault. Then retracted that statement when questioned more, I guess, from the reports I have read. And what I understand is that he made allegations, posted it on Instagram or Twitter or X, whatever it is, and then later retracted and deleted that statement. And then there was an investigation on him. WWE put in an investigation. It just comes down to he wore out his welcome. He just kept. There's just some people, unfortunately, that get released because they can't get out of their own way. And I don't know if he's going to be in a benefit to AEW right now because. If he still has these behaviors and go over there, would he not be almost like the next coming of CM Punk in a way? Not that he's as bad as Punk, or but I mean, it's just like I don't know if you want that. I don't know if Tony Khan would really want to deal with somebody who has issues like that, bringing him over, who's really lost a lot of his hype. He was great in NXT, but now it's like if you saw him AEW, would you really be excited to see him in AEW, or you just be like, cool, it's Matt Riddle, yay?
Whoa, bro.
First, I want to see him go back to King of Bros. Second, I want to see him get over whatever his troubles are before he steps back into a wrestling ring.
I think he needs to get over whatever's going on, get himself clean, and go to New Japan Wrestling and become the badass Matt Riddle that he can.
I would not be disappointed in that.
I mean, because all I can see him winding up is maybe going to AEW and winding up with Daniel Garcia and Rod Van Dam, and their theme music would be this.
Can you imagine the smoking session?
Boring.
If he ends up there.
Yeah. Matt Riddle.
Well, I mean, BT's constantly called him RVD 2.0, so I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Matt Riddle will come out and do one of these things.
You want to do a wrestle?
Oh, God.
So, yeah, we did talk about Riddle. We wish Riddle, everybody, all of us here at the Value Wrestling wish all of us here at the Value Wrestling wish Matt Riddle the best in his future endeavors and hope that, whatever he does, he's happy. He goes where he wants to go and does something that makes him happy, that he's able to resolve whatever issues may be going on. If he has a alcohol abuse issue, hopefully he recognizes that, gets the proper help he needs, and recovers from that because, we want to see him be successful. I know his ex-wife came on Instagram, I believe, and put out just like she was happy he was gone because him being in this light changed him. She thinks the spotlight that he had some of these underlying issues that came out because he got the spotlight, became recognized, and that exacerbated the issues, and that she thinks, if he's not in the spotlight, maybe he'll recognize these issues and get the help. Of course, the story there is that he was abusive to her in different ways. There's no hard facts in this. It's just it's a he said, she said, as far as I know. But that's where we have there. So, what happens to Matt Riddle in the future? I don't know. I think we all agree that the main thing we want to see him do is get the help he needs. If he needs help, get the help, and
Get it, please.
Yeah. Anywho, I don't think there's much more. We've covered a lot. There's been a busy week. Releases. We'll see where they all wind up, how it all plays out. As far as I know, I think they're all under 90-day non-compete clause, so it'll be a little while. Riddle's out now. That was after the fact. We have Wrestle Dreams coming up. Next Sunday? Yes, next Sunday will be Wrestle Dreams. So we will be getting on that. And we will be getting on that. We'll be covering that, and we will do a live a show after this. After that, I should say, after Wrestle Dreams, we will be here on The Value of Wrestling doing our review live, talking about that. I guess next week on the Weekly Roundup, we may do a review of the card, and we may do our pick'ems of who we think is going to win, and discuss that a little more in depth. Not this Saturday. Oh, yeah. Not next Saturday. Next Saturday will be the 30th. Yeah, next Saturday is coming Saturday now. It's Sunday. It will be the 30th. So not that Saturday, but the Saturday after that will be a fast card with no matches yet. Tentatively.
Yes,
Actually,
sir.
we do.
Fast
We do
lane,
technically have a
baby.
match.
Fast
We have
lane.
John Cena and a mystery partner against Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. Jimmy. Yes, I know.
Mhm.
Jimmy. And I don't know why Jimmy got the new music and Jay got the old music. I'm like, it's kind of weird. I thought Jimmy could have gotten the old music and Jay got something new that would have been a little different. But hey, it is what it is.
I kind of like the original music better, so the fact it went to Jay, I'm actually completely fine with.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
each their own. So that's kind of the week. We're going to get through another week of wrestling. Hopefully there's no more releases and no more big shockers in wrestling. We wish the best for LA Knight. Hope he recovers and is able to get back in the ring. Hulk Hogan was married today to his fiance, Sky Daly, if I remember that name correctly. So congratulations to the Immortal One. We wish him and her the best and a happy future together. And Miguel Z is over there checking out everything with New Japan Pro Wrestling on the event that's going on there. And he will definitely be dropping a Rebound, hopefully sometime tomorrow, over on Spotify for everybody who wants to know.
Yeah, first match just finished, so yeah, I'll be definitely dropping that.
So be ready for that. Of course, there's always Big Time rants out here, so we never know what the next Big Time rants is going to be. And we got Paulus Clarke covering your quick results. So if you ever want to just get a quick result, look for our shorts on the quick match reviews that are covering WWE, AEW. Are you covering Impact?
No, not at this moment. So basically, it's Raw. I might start like I did NXT recently also, but NXT and NWA Power, Dynamite. Thursday it's MLW Fusion, then SmackDown Rampage. Then we're here every Saturday night.
Yeah,
for
so
the
he's
long form for the weekly Roundup podcast.
Hey, he's breaking down every week a quick result. So if you just want to hear who won what match, you could definitely catch those on shorts. That's all the build up for this right here, what we call the weekly Roundup, which happens every week after Collision on a Saturday night, unless something else is going on, like a pay-per-view, since WWE's moved their PLEs to Saturday night. Sometimes that may tell or change plans, and we will always let you know ahead of time what is going on there. And that's also why you just want to make sure you have that bell rung. If you have that bell rung, you're always going to be notified when new videos are put up or when we are live, because we do have many different things going. We are brewing many different pots. We have other show ideas in the canon. We just got to get them together and get them out there. Of course, we've done 2 episodes of Break It Down, so You never know when we'll be back in our roundtable discussion to discuss our next big topic. So we're always working hard to bring out the best content for y'all. And go ahead, sir. Unless you're doing your USO.
No. In addition to all that, whether it's myself doing an audio article or another staff member, we always are having content uploaded to YouTube.
Yes. Yes, and you can always join our commentary partner and good friend of Miguel's, Jane, over there with 100% marks.
Come on, man.
All right.
I did not mess with that young intern. Yes, that was right, man.
No, we know you didn't sleep with that young intern because you were up all night. Believe that. Anyways, we are here to have fun, and you're welcome to join us. Comments, we are working on many different things. We got many pans in the fire, and we're always going to add new stuff. So always keep your eye open, and that's why you got to have that bell rang. So when new videos drop, whatever it may be, audio articles, 100% marks, big time rants, the New Japan Pro Wrestling over on Spotify with the Rebound, the weekly the weekly video, and
the flagship
break it
show.
down.
Hey, you want to hear something interesting real quick before we roll out of here?
No.
Taka Michinoku's still wrestling.
No, it's awesome.
What?
Yeah, well, right now he's doing a 6-man tag with Doki and Sonata.
As long as there's no choppy.
Choppy?
Right.
I just figured everyone would find that entertaining because he came back relatively 3 months ago, and I was like, holy crap, he still looks good.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Value of Wrestling. This is the weekly roundup. I'm the Big Tyme, along with Paulus Clarke, Miguel Z. We are your value of wrestling. And along with you, we are growing. But for now, it's time to say...